So I get this text from my homegirl Sharon. So I have this friend, your name came up last night. I showed her your pictures. She wants to meet you. Your friend sounds like she has good taste. She does. So she trying to take me to Taco Bell or nah? How about Chick-fil-A? Wait, sWooZie. I don't like Chick-fil-A or what they stand for. Their chicken is evil. Okay, well, I'm not forcing you to go there. I'm just telling you the story. Okay, carry on. Alright, yeah, the three of us should meet up at Chick-fil-A. No, you and her should go to Chick-fil-A. Just admit it, you're shy to go on a date. Me? Shy? Brr? Now the main reason I want Sharon a third wheel on this date is because the last few months, things have been weird. Apparently the more popular I get, the more people like to spin narratives about me. Video game side mission. I was at a party, my friend comes up to me. Yo, this is my friend Ana Lucia. Nice to meet you. I think I said 2 more words to this girl, walked off, never saw her again. 2 or 3 months later, my boy texts me, you know a girl named Ana Lucia? No. I was hanging out with some friends last night, and she said she met you at a party, and you spent the whole night hitting on her and trying to hook up with her. What? She doesn't seem like your type, so I didn't believe it, but everybody else at the party that she was telling the story to, they believed it. What? There are people in the world who are just delusional. There are people in the world who just are thirsty for attention. I don't know if this is your first time watching one of my videos, but I like to joke a lot. So if you tweet or DM me talking about some I love you, let's get married, be my boyfriend, I'm gonna tweet you something sassy back. So the I love you backs and let's date in secret, those jokes are gonna have to stop. I just said hi to this girl. Imagine if I told her a joke that she can now take and spin some new narrative on and use that as ammunition. I didn't say this to Sharon, but I'll say this to you guys. If it's gotten to the point to where I'll say hi to somebody in a room full of people and they have ammunition to spin some crazy story, you start thinking twice about being alone with people that you're meeting for the first time. I basically just tell Sharon that I'm trying to de-romanticize the situation. So then Sharon says, do you want a picture of her? And then I thought, you know, this would be really exciting if I didn't even know what she looked like. With everybody having social media, it's almost impossible to go on a blind date. So I figured let's spice it up. I don't even want to see what she looks like. So we set the day, we set the time, I show up at Chick-fil-A, and then I realize I forgot to ask Sharon what this girl's name was. So I quickly text Sharon, I'm like, it's a minor detail. What's your girl's name again? Lisa. And she's wearing an olive dress. Got it. I'm sitting there and I realize I messed up. I should have showed up first, waited in the parking lot, watched Lisa walk in. Once she sits down, then I make my grand entrance, burst open the door in slow motion and all the doves will fly behind me. Ma chérie, embrasse-moi. Oh, sWooZie, you know French? Keep going. Omelette du fromage. A minute or 2 later, I see this girl walking up to me. She's an olive dress on. Adonde? Lisa? Nice to meet you. I hope you don't mind, but last minute had to babysit my niece. Totally cool. Now in the back of my brain, I'm thinking, did Sharon tell Lisa about this whole de-romanticized thing, and is that why she brought her niece? So we order, Lisa and her niece go over and sit down. When I walk over, Lisa's sitting at the table, but her niece is sitting 5 tables away. Wait, no. Tell your niece to get over here. No, it's okay. It's already weird that I have to bring her. It's not weird at all. Trust me. I call her niece over. She comes and sits down next to her aunt. So I'm talking to Lisa. She's telling me about her job, what she does. I'm bringing the niece into the conversation. Me and her niece start talking about Frozen 1 versus Frozen 2. She liked Frozen 2 better than Frozen 1. I think she's crazy. Animation in Frozen 2 was awesome. Frozen 1 overall, better. If you disagree with me, you're wrong. So as we're talking, Lisa says, I'm gonna be honest, I don't follow a lot of influencers on YouTube. I don't even know what that whole world is about. My sister really doesn't understand any of this. She won't even let my niece go on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, and none of those. What is that like? Like, how old are you? 16. And you can't go on any social media? You know, I sneak and I watch some YouTubers, but I'm not allowed to be on social media. I don't understand the whole social media thing, and Sharon says like you have 1 million subscribers? You know, I have a little bit more than that, but who's counting? It's whatever. Like, do people come up to you and ask for your autograph and ask for pictures and stuff? She's still talking, and I noticed these 4 girls on the other side of the restaurant just staring at me. And I'm thinking, how funny would it be if mid-sentence she's like, do people ever recognize you? And this whole table comes over and starts talking to me. As we keep talking, I realize the table next to them are staring at my table. Next thing you know, every kid in this restaurant, I see them eat and looking at my table. But then again, there are times where I'll go out and this will happen and the people are too scared to come up to me. If I'm out even at like a restaurant, if I'm mid-chew and you ask for a picture, I will take the picture with you, I promise. The only time I will not do it is if you're the guy tapping me on the shoulder when I'm using the bathroom in the Chicago airport. Imagine being at the John, taking care of business, and then you feel a hand. Has anybody ever touched you in a public bathroom? Somebody tapped me and I turn around and look at him like, he got a picture. But bro, let me finish. Let me finish. You feel me? So by the time we finish eating, everybody in the restaurant is staring at our table. Clean up the table, stand up with the tray. The first girls that start staring at me, run over. Excuse me, we're so sorry to bother you. Yes? This is really weird. But, are you the girl from TikTok? What? No? What? No? What are you talking about? You're the girl, you're her. Yeah, you're her. And then her niece beelines to the exit. Everybody in the restaurant, their eyes follow her. Hold up. Half the people in this restaurant were sitting behind her. So that means they recognized her from the back of her head. I am irrelevant. Hand to God, these girls started talking to me first and then asked if she was on TikTok. You could see all the sparkles in these kids' eyes. Lisa's standing over here watching all this, super confused. Your niece is TikTok famous, just so you know. She's not even allowed to have the app on her phone. I'm pretty sure if you grabbed her phone right now, the app is there. She literally turned red as she ran to the car. So we walk outside. So, what's your TikTok name again? I don't have TikTok. Huh. Okay, so how do you spell your first and last name? I'm just curious, asking for a friend. Don't worry about it, gotta go, bye! And jumps in the passenger seat. Confirmed, your niece is TikTok famous. The whole restaurant was gushing over her like she was a member of BTS. So anyways, this is one big, long-winded, roundabout way of letting y'all know your boy is on TikTok. Woo! Also guys, don't bother in the comments asking me what the niece's TikTok name is, because I still don't even know. One day back in middle school, I'm like 12 years old, my dad comes to me, he's like, get ready, I'm taking you to the car dealership and I'll buy you a car because you're about to turn 16. We get to the car dealership and he's like, okay, whatever car you pick, your mom's gonna drive it for the next 4 years, and then when you turn 16, it's yours. So then he tells me my budget is $12,000. I felt like I was in a rap video. So my dad buys the car, and here's where the problem starts, because in my mind now, I'm thinking, that's my car. I'm just letting my mom borrow it. So one day my boy Robbie comes over to spend the night, and we're in my bedroom and I look at him and I'm like, we gotta start living our lives a quarter mile at a time. Let's go downstairs, get my mom's keys, and go for a ride around the block. And Robbie's like, okay, turn upward. So my parents' room is on one side of the house and the garage is on the other side of the house. So we wait till like 2 a.m. when my parents are sleeping, we creep downstairs, we go over to the keys, and we gotta be all silent. I'm like Indiana Jones, like taking the artifact and like swapping out the keys with a sandbag, right? We go in the garage, open it, boom, we're cruising around the block. I'm driving for the first time. I even burnt some songs from video games. So we're like rolling around the block, listening to Grand Theft Auto soundtrack, so it feels like we're in the game. I look over at Robbie and I'm like, Robbie, get on the roof, bruh. Bam! Flying around the block at like 30 miles an hour. Don't try this at home though. You know, we're trained video game professionals. Y'all kids, if y'all try this, y'all might die. Anyways, fast forward a few months, it's my birthday. Every year, my mom gets me a hotel room and I invite a bunch of my boys over. Me, Robbie, Paul, Josh, and my boy Eric. So I get all my boys in a circle and I'm like, yo, tonight, when my mom and my sister go to sleep, we're gonna take my mom's keys and we're gonna go for a ride. And all my friends are like, oh my god, bro, dude, you're such a gangster. I know, right? So my mom and my sister fall asleep and I just hold my hand up and the keys fly out of my mom's purse and fly into my hand like I'm a Jedi. We grab a room key, we go out to the car, boom! We out here getting this paper, cuz. I'm blasting Mario Kart music and I look over at Robbie and I'm like, let's raise up a more again on these fools. You think they ready for level 2? Shoo, they better get ready. We live our lives a quarter mile at a time, cuz. Robbie jumps out, jumps on the roof. Everybody's like, oh my god, you guys are crazy! So I turn a corner, drive down, and guess what I see? A rent-a-cop security guard, and it's a dead end. He looks up, I'm like, I did my nickel. I ain't going back. I panic, put it in reverse, so I'm not looking back, and then all of a sudden, boom! I hit the pole, Robbie goes, brum, 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 brum. He rolls off the back. Eric is like, Robbie, no! I'm like, Eric, focus! Robbie's dead! He's off to a better place now. His problems are over. We still gotta get through this. I look in the rear view, I don't even see Robbie anymore. Security guard, he jumps in his golf cart and he starts chasing after us. Then all of a sudden the passenger door flings open, Robbie's holding his side and he jumps in. I slam on the gas. Everybody's freaking out, but see, I'm cool. In Grand Theft Auto, I'm used to like 4 or 5 stars. This is like maybe, this is half a star right now. So there's like 7 of these hotel buildings in this one complex. We pass our building because you don't want to be obvious, so we park 2 buildings away, right? We get out and we hide in the bushes. So we're getting all Tom Clancy, jumping from bush to bush, working our way back to the building, and we see the security guard standing next to his golf cart with his hands on his hip. He's like, steam is coming out of his ears. We're on the other side, we sneak past, rush up the stairs to our room, boom, mission completed. Fast forward a few weeks, my mom's taking me to school. She walks around the back of the car and she notices a dent and she's like, "What is this?" Well, Mom, you don't remember how we got that?
No, when did this happen? There's a line going down the back of the bumper. There's paint missing.
You don't remember? We went grocery shopping, right? And we got hit with the shopping cart.
I think I would have remembered that.
Yeah, no. Oh, you went into Publix, and I stayed in the car, and then a lady, I thought I told you. Oh, man. My B.
Wait, no, I think, okay, no, that sounds a little familiar, okay. Oh, okay, I remember now.
So yeah, Moms, I got a little confession. Now you know how we really got that, that little ding in the back of our car. So on Instagram, 68% of y'all said I need to keep the beard. So you're gonna get it for one video and that's it. You ever let a friend or your parents borrow your car, you get your car back, and they left it on some crazy radio station? So I'm driving and my mom left the radio station on NPR. The guy on the radio's like,
Disney and Universal are at war!
dang, it's a war now?
Yes, it's a war, mate!
I don't know if you've been paying attention, right? But everything is about lands. Harry Potter land, Star Wars land, everything's a land.
Because they're at war!
But the good thing is,
The person who wins the war is the consumer. Me and you, mate.
word?
Word!
When I worked at the studio, whenever I was greeter spot, I would just sit there thinking about all these crazy ideas for rides, because low-key, mid-key, high-key, I wanted to be an Imagineer. So it should be pretty clear what team I'm on, but Universal, let me holler at y'all real quick. I hear y'all partnered with Nintendo for Nintendo World or Nintendo Land, but if y'all don't have a 12-player interactive virtual reality Mario Kart of some sort planned, you're already sitting on a big fat L. Go all out. You need to have wind machines. When you throw an item, you physically have to use your hands to throw. If somebody throws a banana at you, I want to feel it all over my face, nom nom nom. And it would be a different ride every time, full interaction, and that's how you gotta approach rides nowadays. Universal, you can't just approach things like how you did back in the 80s, okay? Audiences are more advanced now. Here's some more advice, Universal. Stop trying to be Disney. Do some stuff that they can't do. Game of Thrones land. Just throw that, you can have that one for free. You have to add a little bit of danger. Have a ride that when you get on it, you can actually die. In the gift shop, you can have a shirt that says, I survived the Game of Thrones ride. These crackheads will buy it. Also, Disney, Universal, I don't know if you noticed, but you got a problem that's starting and it's getting kind of out of hand. People skipping, like, galore. Walking through the line like, oh, yeah, excuse me. I see you guys, you're right up there. No, excuse me. I see you. And it's mostly foreigners, no tea, no shade. Anybody caught skipping in Game of Thrones land, they grab you, strip you naked, and make you walk the walk of atonement. Shame. Universal, if you want to win the war, you gotta make these money moves. All right, Disney, let me holler at y'all real quick. I mean, y'all are doing great, but I have some quick little notes. All right, you guys are great at taking people and putting them into worlds they couldn't otherwise get into. That's why you have all these girls with annual passes calling up everybody like, let's go to Disney! Every single day. Let me just put something on your plate, and that's a little bit outside of the box, okay? Sidekicks. Flounder, Abu, Olaf, Baby Yoda. Okay, follow me around the room with this. Sidekicks that you can take home. When you leave the park, you don't have to leave the park, you take it home with you. I don't know how y'all would do this. Y'all can't expect me to come up with all the ideas, but y'all figure it out. Maybe the sidekicks can go bad. Maybe they have hoarders out there. If you collect too many sidekicks, they orchestrate a prison break like they did in Toy Story 3.
Alright guys, the tunnel is done. At midnight, we're busting out of here.
But what about Timon and Pumbaa?
Forget about them. It's every man for himself.
Or imagine if you go to sleep and you have a bad dream, You know like how Kylo Ren had a bad dream and Luke could sense it? And he's like, try to kill him? Imagine if you buy a Baby Yoda, take him home, have a bad dream, and yeah, wake up and fight Baby Yoda. How awesome would that be? Insert a little bit of danger in there. These are the ideas that I'm giving y'all for free. Imagine if you paid me. But Disney, here's just one more tip. If y'all start losing the war and Universal starts kicking y'all's butt, here's just one more tip. Buy Universal. Who here remembers Blockbuster Video? I know a lot of y'all have heard about it. For those of y'all who have never been inside a Blockbuster, you go in, they have all your favorite movies, all your favorite video games, they had candy and popcorn. For anybody that remembers going in as a kid, they will tell you it was a good experience. It just made you feel good. When you hear mom say, "We're going to Blockbuster!" your reaction's always like, "Ah!" Whenever they had a new release, it would cover the entire wall, and it was always sold out. Imagine going to Netflix and typing in a show or a movie you want to watch, and then Netflix is like, "Nah, fam." And some of y'all young bloods don't know nothing about that life. But you know what else was awesome about the whole Blockbuster experience? When you got your own Blockbuster card. Like, that's a big deal. You're not even supposed to be able to get one until you're 13, but my mom like forged the document and like made a fake passport for me or something and got me one before I turned 13. Like, that was a moment in life. My friends would call me after I got my card like, "Donde, let's go play outside." Nah, fam, I'm a man. I'm about to go job hunting. I gotta start doing my taxes. Big montings. I'm out here making money moves, okay? Come holla at me. And to make matters even worser, my parents started giving me allowance around this time. It was $20 every 2 weeks. I felt like a millionaire. Like, y'all couldn't tell me nothing. I would just jump on my bike and drive down to Blockbuster because I don't need my mom to drive me no more because I'm a man now. And then one day out of the blue random, they added an anime section. It was only like one tiny little corner, had like 15 movies, but I was shooketh. So the first anime I ever rent was Ninja Scroll, right? Take it to the register. The lady looks at the movie and looks at me and she goes,
Where's your mom?
Home, because I'm a man.
Hold on 1 second.
She looks at the computer, picks up the phone, and calls her.
Hi, ma'am. I'm Stacy over at the Blockbuster in Metro West. Your son is trying to rent a movie that's PG-13. And he doesn't look 13 to me.
So now I'm like, crap, my mom's gonna think that I'm over here trying to abuse my power and rent adult movies. Then I hear the girl go,
Okay. That'll be $5.99.
yo, my mom is a G. So the next weekend comes along, guess where I'm at Friday night? Right back up in that anime section. So I walk over to the same lady from last week and I hand her Fist of the North Star, the movie.
I just have to call your mother to get permission to rent this to you. Yes, ma'am, this is Stacy from Blockbuster in Metro West. Your son is here trying to rent a movie. It's a Japanimation movie. Okay. Okay, I just have to, let me just read you the ratings really quickly, okay? Nudity, adult situations, blood, and violence. Did I mention that it contains a nudity? Do you want me to rent this movie to your son who is here? Are you sure? No, yeah, okay. Blink once for yes, blink twice for no. Okay, no problem, ma'am. Sure, okie doke.
And I'm here like, Mom is the MVP. Me and my mom never even talked about this. She just knew what to do. And this other time I went into Blockbuster, I go over to the video game section. The brand new Star Fox 64 just dropped. All of them were sold out except for one. Again, for anybody that's gone to Blockbuster and you've experienced this scenario, you know how happy you get when you get the last copy. Grab it, go over to the register, give it to the guy, and he goes,
Yo, I've been trying to get my hands on this. You know how hard it is to get your hands on this game? I can't even get my hands on it, and I work here. When did this copy even get back in here? I've been waiting for it.
So I give him the money, I rent it, take it home. The graphics were like mind-blowing. So I take it back to Blockbuster, drop the game off, and about a week later, I'm home, I hear the phone ring, my mom goes and answers it. Then she walks in the room like, Blockbuster says you still have their game and you need to bring it back. No, I returned the game like last week. He said he returned the game last week. They says you didn't. Well, I did. My son says he returned the game, that means he returned the game. So fast forward like a month, I think it was. I'm home, I hear the phone ring, my mom answers, and she runs in the room. Blockbuster says you still have their game and that I owe them $125! Part of me is happy, part of me is scared. For anybody that has a parent or parents from Barbados, you know that they swing first and ask questions later. So the fact that my mom's asking questions first, I'm very happy about it. Mom, I returned the game on time, I swears.
He returned the game on time. He wouldn't lie about it.
Click. Blockbuster kept calling. I pick up the phone, they'd be like,
We know you have the game. We're gonna send the collection agency after you.
and every time they would call, I'm sitting here like, am I crazy? Did I imagine taking it back and I didn't really take it back? Like I was stressing out. And when I get stressed out, I break out and get acne. Once I get acne, the chance of me becoming a child model is out the window. I'm not gonna book any gigs if my face is covered in pimples, okay? Then I start thinking, hold up. Maybe when I returned it, that clerk swiped it up and took it home and never brought it back. Like 2 or 3 months later, Blockbuster calls,
Ma'am, we just wanted to call and let you know that we found the game.
where did you find it?
It doesn't matter where we found it, but we found it.
I think that was their way of being like, oops, we done goofed. So they erased all of our late fees, but please believe, every time I rented from Blockbuster from that day on, I wouldn't just drop it in the Dropbox. When I'm returning a game, I would walk inside with the game and be like, hey guys, I'm here, la 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 la, here, I'm here, look. And a little while after this, met my friend for lunch this week and she starts talking about her love life.
I met this boy on a dating app. We went on a few dates. I think he's trying to soft ghost me. So I think I'm about to send him a really long text. What do you think?
I think I speak for all boys when I say, don't do that.
Well, what do I do now?
In my head, I'm thinking, what's so good about this guy and why is she being the Lululemon? He doesn't seem as interested as she is. So I says to her, I says, y'all met on an app. You think he just deleted the app and isn't talking to other girls? I don't know, maybe after your dates, he just wants to be friends.
I know I'm in the friend zone. I'm trying to bust out of there like Shawshank Redemption.
Sis, if he wanted to, he would. How you gonna look out here when you're putting up 90% effort and he's putting up 10% effort? But she ain't like that answer, so she goes home, gets on TikTok, starts watching the girl talk video advice, right? Gets a pen and paper, writes, you're obsessed with me, you wanna text me back, writes his name, and puts it under her pillow. She sleeps with that note under her pillow every day for a week. Out of the blue random, guess who texted her? Yes, him, dude. Hey, I miss you. If you're free, you should probably come over tonight. I got some wine. Apparently, the Lulu is the new Salulu. The dating world is the Olympics of the Lulu. NGL, I laughed the first time I heard my friend Sarah from Italy say it. It sounds like a spell that Harry Potter gave up on mid-cast. The Lulu, no Salulu in it. It's like when you tell your friends, I'll come out tonight, but I'm not drinking. Because you know you're going to get to the bar and they're going to be like,
Just have one drink with us.
Then cut to you, tipsy AF, twerking on Elmo in the middle of Times Square. You're so gone in your own world, you're like, solutions? Where we're going, we don't need solutions. Once we cross a certain level of delusion, we don't connect the dots properly. And we've all been there. You ever had that friend who wants to be a singer? Or a rapper, you know, you want to be supportive. Cash Money Records taking over for the 9 and the 2000s. So yeah, delusions are basically having beliefs that contradict reality. But let's talk about how delusions are actually solutions. Y'all ever heard about Steve Jobs' reality distortion field? It's a theory that you can convince people of any idea. Any of y'all remember how Apple used to be whack? Nobody was buying Mac anything. Fast forward to a line wrapped around the block of people waiting to give Apple their $600 like, shut up and take my money! Steve Jobs was the king of the Lulu being the Salulu in the best possible way. He looked at glass and metal and basically saw the future. It's like being at a party and you're dancing to music that only you can hear and everybody's looking at you like you're crazy. Then the beat drops and then everybody suddenly hears the music and now you're the life of the party. Success is basically making everybody see what you see in your mind. Here's a secret sauce. The magic trick is alignment. You gotta make your delusion align with reality. And when you do that right, you start getting those iPod ideas. So the next time somebody calls you delusional, they're probably right. But now, you gotta make your delusion align with reality. And when you do that right, that's how you make the Lulu, the new Salulu. Now, I've always wanted to tell a story for you guys. And in the story, I'm actually telling a story. And I think this is the video blog. I'm actually going to attempt to do this for the first time. Alright, so one night, me and my friend Bernard, we were just hanging out, started talking about high school, and eventually somehow we worked our way to prom. I was telling him how my prom night was actually pretty interesting, mostly due to the fact that it wasn't contained to just one night. You know, Bernard's like, what do you mean it wasn't just contained to one night? So then naturally, I had to start the story from the beginning now. And I'll start you guys from the beginning too, okay? Let's go back to the middle school days. Now, my middle school, my parents sent me to this private Baptist school where they didn't have prom. You know, the teachers would always tell us, we know what you kids do on prom night, so we're never, ever gonna have a prom at this school. So in my head, you know, I was always thinking I'd never have a prom because I thought I was going to graduate from high school in this private school. But then in the 9th grade, I started going to a public school, so that kind of put me in direct path with prom that I wouldn't have at that private school. All right, so fast forward 3 years to the magical night. My mom let me borrow her 1993 Toyota Corolla, and to me, it was like a Lexus, because my car at the time was this 1979 Mazda 3-door hatchback. Not the car you want to be seen in, especially on prom night. Alright, so my prom date at the time was actually this girl that I've been crushing on for a while, and you know, she's the kind of girl that's always had a boyfriend, and she didn't really seem to like me like that anyways, but 2 weeks before prom, her and her boyfriend broke up. So I don't remember if I asked her to be my date or if she asked me, but she ended up being my date. And let me tell you, I have never seen this girl looking this good. So as we're driving to prom, a little voice in the back of my head is wondering, I know she just broke up with her man, but I wonder if we're gonna do that thing that kids do on prom night. You know, it's just a little voice in the back of my head. Our prom was held at a ballroom at one of those fancy Disney hotels by Pleasure Island. So me and my date get there and I meet up with my friend Will. Some of you guys might remember him from the Sarasota videos. Yeah, we were high school buddies. That's where we met. So I met up with Will and his date and we all grab a table and we all just start talking. So after being there for about 15 minutes, my date turns to me and she's like, do you want to dance? And I'm like, you know, not right now. Let's see. The thing that she didn't know is how good I could actually dance. Like, everybody knew I could break dance at the time, but I had never done any other kind of dancing in public. So I knew how good I could dance, you know, because I was dancing around my house every day while I play the music on the radio, but, you know, nobody else really knew. And then suddenly, the DJ put on the next song, and I hear... Suddenly I feel something in my body, like as soon as I heard that bass kick in, I felt like David Banner transforming into the Hulk. Yeah, the beast was about to be released, and there was like nothing I could do to stop it. So I grabbed my date without saying a word to her and pulled her out onto the dance floor. So then Bernard interrupts the story and he's like, wait, you were booty dancing? And I told him, I'm like, yeah, bro, I wasn't always the goody-goody that you know today. The younger version of me had a little sprinkle of wildness in him. I mean, I was all over my date, and judging by the huge grin she had on her face, she seemed like she was loving every single second of it. You know, I kind of felt like she had always wanted to do this with me, but never really had the chance to. You know, and I'm noticing all the other guys around me, and they're looking all stiff and robotic like RoboCop. You know, they're trying to dance, but they just can't keep up with their girls. And, you know, because their girls have the coordination, but the guys just have no lower torso movement whatsoever. And here I am looking like the T-1000 from the Terminator 2 movies, you know, like liquid on the dance floor, bending my girl all around in these crazy positions like a gymnast, you know. And Bernard is cracking up at this point. So the booty music plays for about 15 minutes, and then the DJ went right into the breakdancing music. And I look up, and through all the darkness, I meet eyes with Willie. And suddenly, I just see him give me this devilish smile. And then a circle forms around him, and he just hits the floor. So then I turn to my date, and I'm just like, yo, I'll be right back, okay? And I start pushing my way through the crowd, because now everybody that's around Will isn't dancing. They're just cheering him on like, go, go, go. And then I jump in the cypher right there with my boy. And he's doing his UFOs and his tabletops and his crickets. And then I jump in and I start busting out my windmills and, you know, a flare or two. And me and him, and we're just taking turns. And then two other kids that break dance at our school, they jump in the circle and we all had this rotation going. It was crazy. Everybody was screaming. We were popping, locking for about like 5 minutes. It was nuts, man. And then the DJ switches back to regular music, and we stop breaking, and then we go back to dancing with our girls. So a few minutes after I start dancing with my date, you know, random girls started coming up to me and tapping me on the shoulder like, Adonde, you know, come dance with me next, okay? And I'd be like, oh yeah, no, okay, I will. But me and my date had so much chemistry on the dance floor that I honestly didn't realize how much time was passing as we were dancing. So then suddenly one of the first girls that came and asked me to dance with me about 20 minutes ago just pulls me away from my prom date, and she's like, it's my turn. So now the girl that stole me away, her name is Marsha. Me and Marsha, we're dancing, and it's not as crazy as me and my prom date were dancing, but and she's like, you know, where did you learn how to dance like that with a girl? Didn't you come from a private school? You know, I know you didn't learn how to dance all to booty music at that private school. And I'm like, you know, so we start talking and we're laughing, and then she says, hey, I have a hotel room about 10 minutes away from here. If you want to bring your prom date by, you know, you guys can hang out for a little bit. You guys are more than welcome. We'll just have a few people over. You're more than welcome to stop by if you want to. So I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'll ask my prom date, and I don't think she'll have a problem with it. So I go back and I start dancing with my prom date for another hour until prom pretty much ends. So me and my prom date leave once prom is over, and we head to my car, and we're both covered in each other's sweat as we're walking. You know, we're both gasping for air, trying to catch our breath. And then I realized that I only sat down for the first 15 minutes of prom, and then I danced pretty much for 2 hours straight. And I didn't really have any intentions on dancing that night. So we both sit down in my car, and then suddenly my pager goes off. See, back when I was a senior, the cell phones were like the same ones they had at Desert Storm. So they were huge, but you know, you were still kind of cool because you had a cell phone when nobody else could afford one. So, and it wasn't even mine, it was my mom's, but you know, still. So I call the number, and it's Marsha, and she's like, hey, are you guys still coming? So I turn to my date, and I'm like, hey, you know, a few friends of mine, they got a hotel room, and they want to know if we want to stop by. And she's like, oh yeah, no, cool, let's go. So I start the car, and then we drive over to Marsha's hotel. So now as we walk to her room, that voice in my head chimes in again, and it's like, I wonder if me and my date are gonna do that thing that kids do on prom night. Then I start to wonder, what if I walk into this hotel room and like all the people in the room are hooking up, and me and my date kind of walk right into the middle of it. So we get to the room, and Marsha lets us in, and I walk in, and instantly I notice the first connecting bedroom door is closed. And think, oh, okay, there's people in there because the lights are off and that room looks occupied. Okay, so then I look into the living room section, and there's like 8 of some of the most popular kids in school, and they're just all sitting around, cuddling with their dates as they watch a movie. In my head, I'm like, what? You guys are supposed to be doing that thing that kids do on prom night. You know, it was kind of a shell shock that kids were actually doing other stuff like regular kid stuff on prom night. I had always been conditioned from my teachers at the private school that every kid gets crazy, but even the most popular kids in school are just hanging out, not doing crazy stuff, acting normal, being very responsible. So I sit on the couch and my date comes and she sits on my lap and we just start to cuddle a little bit as we watch TV with everybody. So now as the movie starts to end, that same voice in my head comes back and it's like, well, Adonde, I suddenly don't think you'll be doing that thing that kids do on prom night. So after the movie ends, me and my date, we get up and we say bye to everybody and we go back to my car. And it's like 4 a.m. now. So as soon as I sit down in my seat, a huge wave of fatigue hits me. Like all the dancing with my prom date and all the break dancing with Willie just all of a sudden hit me like a ton of bricks. So then, I tell my date, like, I need some help driving you home because I'm very bad when I get behind the wheel and I'm sleepy. And she's like, okay, I'll help you. So as I drive, my eyes keep getting heavier and heavier. Like they're so heavy as I'm driving. And she's apparently wide awake. Every time I start to swerve, she'd be like, Adonde. And then I'd snap out of it for about 4 minutes and get back on the road. And then my eyes would get heavy again and I'd start to swerve. It was like a vicious cycle. But we finally get to her house and I pull up in her driveway. And at this point, I am in total zombie mode. Like my eyes were barely open. I don't even look at her. I just keep looking out the windshield and I'm just like, thanks for coming to prom with me. And she's like, you're welcome. And then there's a slight pause. Now, if I wasn't so tired, I would have noticed that pause, but I didn't because I was so sleepy. So about 2 weeks later, I get a phone call from my prom date. So, we're on the phone and we're talking about prom night, and then she tells me that she feels bad because she stopped me from dancing with all the other girls who wanted to dance with me. I'm like, oh no, trust me, I had so much fun dancing with you that night that I didn't even realize how much time was passing. And then she says, Adonde, I was very mad at you though after you dropped me at my house. And I'm like, why were you mad at me? She says, you were so tired, I couldn't even get a goodnight kiss out of you. And I'm like, gasp! You wanted to kiss me? She was like, yeah, I wanted to kiss you, but you were so sleepy, I couldn't, and you didn't even look at me when we pulled up in my driveway. I'm like, what did she just say? Then she was like, I actually wanted to do a lot more with you than just kiss, but if you were too tired to even give me a kiss, I knew we couldn't even take it there. After she said that, I had to pick my jaw up off the floor with both my hands. I could not believe my ears. No girl has ever told me flat out like that. Ever. And this girl wasn't even my girlfriend, so after I gather my thoughts, I start talking again and kind of work into the conversation like, well, prom was really just a school dance. If you ever wanted to kiss me or even maybe more, we could do that at any time. So, I tried to insert a little bit of humor and I was like, I work on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so Tuesdays and Thursdays I have off and I have the whole house to myself. And she's like, oh, really? And I'm like, yeah. So I try to continue the joke even more, so then it seems less awkward when she rejects me. So I'm like, yeah, you could come over. And, I just got a brand new camcorder and we could do whatever you want to do and we could videotape the whole thing. And then she's like, that actually sounds like fun. What time should I come over on Tuesday? And then I'm like, are you serious? And she says, well, I'm serious if you're serious. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm serious. Tuesday around 11 in the afternoon. So then she says, well, okay, if I come over and we do this thing that kids do on prom night, we'll just codename it that. If we do this thing that kids do on prom night and we videotape it, can I get a copy of it? And I'm like, mm-hmm. So then Bernard interrupts and he's like, bro, are you serious? She really said that? And I'm like, yeah, man, no lie. Now, the thing about it is, back then, with the whole saving myself till marriage thing, my whole philosophy was, okay, if my girlfriend didn't want to do it until we're married, then that's cool. But if I had a girlfriend and she didn't care if we did it before marriage or what, then I was okay with that too. So then Bernard's like, Okay, well, what happened? Did she come over? I think some of my friends have this disease where they can't keep secrets. I mean, I'm gonna keep it raw. We've all heard the words, don't tell anybody, and then we run and tell people. But at a certain point, you gotta understand how secrets work. In case you didn't get the memo, how it goes is I tell you, hey, can you keep a secret? You say, yeah. And you tell one or two other people, they run and tell one or two other people, and so on, and so on. And now all my business is out in the streets. In some cases, I tell this guy a secret, and he tells one of our mutual friends, and that mutual friend comes back to me and tells me that you're running your mouth. Now, you about to get dealt with. I used to be that friend that used to, run and leak some secrets, until that junk blew up all up in my face. I was good friends with this guy named Daryl and his girlfriend Jane, and it's hard being good friends with couples because when they break up, guess who they come running to? You. They break up, I'm on the phone with Daryl, giving him some advice, and then he randomly busts out with, Donde, I'm a good dude. I'm a good dude. Jane think I'm a bad dude. Like, if I was really a bad dude, actually, I can't even say nothing. I can't even. What's up, man? You could tell me. Promise me you won't tell nobody. Especially not Jane. Come on, man. We boys. We dogs. Bruh. You know Jane, okay? I mean, you know Jane, bruh. Bruh. This girl. I mean, I'm not a mean dude. But this girl sent me some pictures of her naked. Buck naked. And if I was a mean dude, I done put these things all up on the internet. Promise you won't say nothing to nobody, especially not Jane. You promise? I promise. Okay. Click. Beep, 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 beep. Jane. Girl. You ain't gonna believe it. I just got off the phone with Daryl. I'm about to tell you something, but you gotta promise you ain't gonna say nothing to him, okay? He told me he got some pictures of you naked. But he said he ain't gonna show them to nobody, but he was just saying if he was a mean dude, he would show them to people. I knew you longer than I knew him, so I'm just, my allegiance is with you. Don't say nothing to him, you promised. How about 45 minutes later, I get a call from Daryl. I trusted you. Crying on the phone, snot bubbles and all. Jane ran and told Daryl. I got mad at Jane, but at the same time, she did the same thing that I did. So, the next time somebody tells you something and then you hear the words, don't tell nobody, do yourself a favor. Don't tell nobody. Let's talk about toxic relationships. A few months ago, we talked about toxic friends. Let's talk about toxic boyfriends, toxic girlfriends. When you're in these situations, things get a little foggy. Let me hit you with a few signs real quick. The person that you're with, they lie a lot. You kind of have trust issues because of them. And they get overly upset over things. You're in a constant state of stress and you always feel like you're walking on eggshells. Here's one that I've seen a lot of times by lady friends. They're dating some dude and that dude's always telling them, if you break up with me, you're never gonna find anybody better than me. What's crazy too is that becomes my female friend's internal dialogue. Like I'll hear them start to say like, if I break up with him, I'll never find anybody better than. No, that's toxic. Toxic relationships don't just exist in boyfriend-girlfriend. They even exist in the friends with benefits situation. Sis, if he shames you for entertaining any other options, meanwhile Noloski, he's out entertaining everybody? Toxic. Here's one that I've seen with a few of my guy friends who are dating toxic girls. The girl will say, you either pick me or your family. I wish a girl would tell me to pick my family or her. Another tell is if you start making excuses to like justify their toxic behavior, because what happens is you start dating somebody toxic and then you start avoiding your friends and family so you don't have to explain their toxic behavior to your friends and family when you see them. Let me tell you all a quick little story. Proceeds to tell a 15-minute story. One day I'm on Xbox and I'm replying to messages and I open one and I see this girl on here and this girl was fine. Hey, just discovered you today. You're handsome AF. Let's be friends. First thing that runs through my head, you a catfish. Cause ain't no way you this fine trying to talk to little old me. The gaming community is 90% dudes, so you know. So whenever I see a pretty girl as your like default pick on Xbox, I just assume you're a 60-year-old dude named Bob, okay? That's just, there are a lot of trolls, okay? And don't get it twisted, I make friends with dudes and females. I'm not one of those people on here only responding to females.
What's up, bro?
I have a quick question for you. How did we meet?
Through Xbox.
Thank you, sir. All right, that's all. I won't take up any more of your time. Holler. You see? I don't discriminate. So let's just call this girl Ann. And before y'all go looking through my Instagram, I have some friends that I follow named Ann. This is not them, all right? So I get this DM on Xbox from Ann. We start DMing back and forward. We exchange phone numbers. We start texting back and forward. Some of y'all might remember a few videos ago, I said I had this friend who drove an hour out of town, bought me a game, drove an hour back, sent me the game. This is that girl. I'm finally giving y'all that story. Only problem is we don't play any of the same games. She likes these games. I don't like none of those. I like these games. She don't like none of these. The other thing that was really cool about Ann was she plays competitively. Like she travels and competes in tournaments. So with all this going for her, as you can imagine, there's a long list of dudes who are simping hardcore parkour for this girl. We get to talking some more, and it turns out that Ann is single. So now I know something's wrong here, because ain't no way you out here looking this good, walking around single. And now we're texting and talking probably once or twice a week. One thing I figured out about this girl is she has a huge heart. She's one of those people who just love to give. So about a year goes by, I'm on Instagram, I look at Ann's story, she's at a tournament. Right after, my boy's story comes on, and he's at the same tournament. So I text him, bro, there's this girl Ann who's at that tournament. Find her, tell me if she looks that good in person. Girls this cute, don't talk to me. So this is either a filter, or Photoshop, or MS Paint, or all three of them at the same time. He hits me back about 10 minutes later. Yeah, she's here. She is the center of attention. Every dude here is like simping hard over her. Now my decision is clear. Now I have to wife this girl. I'm still kind of, you know? He might have different tastes than me. Another year goes by, we're just friends. Another year goes by, we're just, fast forward 4 years, and we're just friends and we talk here and there just to catch up. I just assume we're never gonna meet. Until one afternoon, I'm chilling, and I get this text from her. You'll never believe this, but I came to LA last minute. Do you still stay downtown? Text her back, yeah, I still stay downtown. So anybody that I meet from the internet, I don't let you come back to my house the first time I meet you. People can show you exactly what they want you to see online, but in person, they could be psychotic. Let's get some burgers at this place around the corner called The Counter. We have great security in my lobby, so I don't mind if she knows the building, but I'll take her out to eat. I'll suss her out. If she's crazy, I'll just be like, okay, gotta go, bye. She Ubers over, she texts me here. I'm in the elevator going down. Kinda interested to see how this is gonna play out because I have no idea where this is about to go. I get off the elevator and I walk into the lobby and she's actually looking away from me. As I get close, she turns in slow motion. First of all, she's backlit and she's wearing a Star Wars one-piece miniskirt, y'all. This girl actually looks better in real life than she does on Instagram, which is mind-blowing. So I walk up to her and I hug her and I'm just so overwhelmed that I mouth the words, oh my God. Like, I'm not joking you when I tell you this. Like, when she couldn't see me and we were hugging and her head was right here and we were hugging, I literally mouthed the words, oh my God. Nobody saw me, but she was so fine. I had to. So I take her to the burger place and we're there and we're talking. This girl's body is crazy. This girl's face is gorgeous. And I'm sitting there trying to find something wrong. Even a tiny thing. Like, I'm looking at her hands like, okay, is her left thumb bigger than her right thumb? Please give me something. On top of that, she's a gamer. And on top of that, she's a really cool personality. We're walking back to my building and I'm just like, all right, I'll let her come up. But I'm texting my boy Bandit. He's like I don't even know what to call him because I've never thought about he's just my accountability person. Anytime I'm about to do something even remotely reckless, I'm like, Bandit, I'm meeting this girl for the first time. I've known her for 4 years. She seems cool, but in case she's crazy, here's her first name, here's her last name, here's her Instagram, here's her Zanga, Tumblr, Club Penguin, all of it. If anything happens to me, send everybody. So we go back up to my condo, and instantly she's like, wine, now. And then this girl starts talking junk in Mario Kart. And then I suggest Tipsy Mario Kart. It's a drinking game where you put your wine or whatever your drink of preference is on the floor. You start racing each other, but you can't finish the race until you finish your drink. So wine leads to Tipsy Mario Kart. Tipsy Mario Kart leads to making out. And we make out a lot. So right about now, I imagine some of you guys are like, sWooZie, I thought you were telling us a story about a toxic relationship. Okay, we're almost there. She leaves, and the very next, I don't even think she waited till the next day. That night, she starts blowing me up, just getting super clingy. I'm not speaking for everybody, because some people like when the other person is obsessed with them. When you come on too strong and you're too clingy from Jump Street, it scares a lot of us. Watch their actions, gauge their vibe, try to match their vibe. Like, let your intentions be known when they're here and you're way up here. Like, that's no. Portion control. Here's a good example. All right, so here's the analogy I use. Pretend this is you with a big heart and all the love you have to give in a relationship. You notice that the bottlenecks up here, because when you pour it, if you pour everything here, just no. Yes, I want to know about your day. Yes, I want to text you, but portion control. So if this is all the love and everything you have to offer and your availability, when you pour it, it needs to bottleneck so it comes out in a nice portion. You're not playing games. You're just portion controlling. I hope I'm explaining this right because I say it to my friends, but I'm not sure if I'm explaining it to y'all properly. So she backs off for a little bit and we don't talk for, I don't know, a month. The next time we talk, she has a boyfriend. 2 months after they start dating, she moves in with this dude, like picks up her life, flies 4 states over, and moves in with this dude. 4 months after that, she gives me a call. Her and her boyfriend got into a fight, and he gave her a black eye. She says they got in an argument, he came at her, she ran, he started chasing her around the house, she ran to the bathroom, she slammed the door. As she was slamming the door, he kicked it into her face and gave her a black eye. Wow. So he didn't lay his hands on you. No, the door hit me. So I'm laying in my bed that night and I'm thinking to myself, humans don't have flat faces. To this day, I don't know if it was the door. If y'all know something that I don't know, please let me know in the comments, because from what I'm thinking, a door can't give you a black eye. If I'm wrong, please let me know. As a friend, I honestly don't know what to do here. I want to help, but I don't know how. So I just tell her, if you need anything at all, let me know, I will help you. 3 weeks later, she hits me up again. So his parents hate me, and we live in his parents' house. Wait, so you moved from your house into his parents' house with him? Yes. And they hate you? Why? I'm not the same race as him, so his parents hate me. And it gets awkward because he's off at work for the whole day and I'm just stuck here with his parents and I just can't leave the room because they don't like me. Wow. So we don't talk for a little while, maybe a month, maybe 2. This part gets a little gray as to how much the window is. She hits me up again. He cheated on me. Get out. How did you find out? I had this gut feeling. I went through his phone. I saw that he was cheating on me. Word? Wow. Can I come live with you for a month? I'll find a place and then I'll be out of your hair in 30 days. I'll cook for you. I will clean for you. There will never be a dirty dish in the sink. I'll do all your laundry. I'll fold all your clothes. Make sure your belly's always full. And then I'll get out of your hair in 30 days. And that sounded amazing. And me thinking back on how clean she got after the first day we hung out, I don't see a scenario where she's out of there on day 31. So I tell her, yo, let me sleep on this and I'll get back to you. In my shoes, what do y'all do? And when people do nice things for me, I don't forget. So you remember how she drove an hour, bought a game for me that was sold out everywhere, and then drove back and then mailed to me? I'm remembering this, okay? Now here's what I love about playing chess. Chess is all about decisions. Life is all about decisions. The better I got at chess, the better I got at making life decisions. So using my chess brain, I slept on it and I came up with a great idea. I hit her back and I said, yo, how about this? I'll buy you a plane ticket to LA. I won't let you stay here. You say you only need 30 days to get on your feet. I will pay for your first month rent anywhere you want to stay. The good thing about LA right now is every apartment gives you the first month free. So if I pay for your first month, you get it for free, and essentially your second month will be what I pay for, so you get 2 months free anywhere you want to stay in LA. How does that sound? She declines. She's not about it. They break up. She dumps him. They're living together, broken up, and I'm sure some of you guys have been in that situation, or you know somebody who's been in that situation. I can imagine it's not fun. That lasts for maybe 2 weeks, and then she calls me. So we got back together. I'm gonna give him another chance, but we started talking and he asked me if he and I broke up and never got back together, what guy would I want to be in a relationship with? And I said, your name. And once I said you, he said I have to unfollow you and block you and we can't talk anymore. Wow. She's an adult, she can make her own decisions, so I don't fight it. I'm just like, Anne, This dude is chasing you down, you got a black eye, he's cheated on you, you take him back, and now he's telling you you can't talk to people? This dude is toxic. So she unfollows me on everything, she blocks me on everything. She calls me the very next day and she's like, you know what, this is stupid. Like, I'm being stupid. I'm gonna to avoid problems, I'm gonna stay unfollowed, I'm gonna keep you blocked. He's the one that cheated, so why am I the one that can't even talk to you? So I'm just gonna change your name to Rachel in my phone. So we get to texting and talking just like how we were before we ever met. Like maybe once a week, if that. And then it gets to the point where we only text on her birthday. And for those of you who have friends that are in toxic relationships, you probably feel my struggle because you want to do something, but you know that if you somehow can force them out of the situation, they're just gonna crawl right back into it. You're an adult, so I can't tell you what to do. 2 of her birthdays go by where I text her and no response, and that's the only time that whole year that we text. It sucks that somebody who's so nice and has such a big heart has all this crap happening to her and she's staying in that situation willingly, question mark? So her birthday comes around. On her birthday, I'm the one feeling sad. My boy calls me, we start talking. I'm just like, bro, I'm just gonna tell you the situation. So I tell him the same story I just told y'all. And then he says, oh, you didn't hear? They just got married. Bruh. So I'm hoping all that toxicness stopped, but I don't know. Dude, literally, I don't know. I've been in a toxic relationship once or thrice, so I get it. But there's a line. If you're in a toxic relationship, it's actually not the kiss of death. It can be fixed. The only problem is toxic people don't feel like they're the problem. So until they want to fix the problem, no problems are going to get fixed. And when I was in those situations, I don't know, I had this feeling that I couldn't leave, which is weird. If you're one of those people who aren't happy if they're single, you're not going to be happy in a relationship. Get happy first, then get in a relationship. Relationships should add to your happiness, okay? Not be the reason for your happiness. Otherwise, if you're in a toxic relationship, communicate to your guy or girl, hey, these things are problems. Let's work on them. Once you communicate that to them and they still don't do anything about it, deuces. Snip, snip, done. Know your value. And add tax. I love cute little dogs. I don't know why, I just do. There's one little problem though. Every dog that I've ever owned hates me. Can you see the scar that I got on my cheek right here? I got it from one of my dogs because they all hate me. What I tell myself is that they all have deep-rooted psychological issues. And you know how you see people driving around and the dog is in the back seat with his head out the window looking all cute? I can't do that. Let me roll the window down for you, Cooper. Cooper. Anytime I was leaving the house or coming home from work, as soon as the door would crack open, pew! I would sit there wondering, like, what is their plan? What's your modus operandi? You get away, and then what? Being homeless is a better option than living with me? Why? And what do I do? What do I do to the dog? I don't know what I'm doing. It has to be me. If all of them don't know each other and they all hate me, I'm the common denominator. There is one thing I hate about dogs. When you have that neighbor that has that dog that they keep outside, and he never stops barking. I heard there's a study that says dogs never get tired of barking or hearing the sound of their own bark. Just how does your neighbor not hear that dog barking non-stop? Have you ever had anybody give you a free dog? I'm super sussed out every time that happens. My aunt was at work, her coworker came up, hey, do you want a free dog? His name is Benji. Then she comes over to my house, hey, you guys want a free dog? Benji was psychotic. I wake up in the middle of the night, Benji's sitting over me like, so I'm thinking me and Benji just got off on the wrong foot, right? The next day I go to pet him, hey Benji, hey, welcome to the bit me! Who hurt you, Benji? Sure enough, about a month later, some random person off the street went to my dad and was like, hey, you want a dog? Sure, what's the worst that could happen? So when my dad brought Kayla home, we had 3 dogs at that point. Key, Kayla, and Benji. So one day, I'm upstairs playing PlayStation and I hear Kayla barking outside. Go down to the kitchen, look out the back window. There's a little chihuahua there, but she's not moving. She's just standing her ground like, so this little chihuahua is standing in my backyard looking at Kayla. I see Kayla has some slack on that chain. I do quick maths, and I'm like, okay, that dog is far enough to where if Kayla charges the dog, we good. She's not gonna reach the chihuahua. Kayla's there, foaming at the mouth now. and the Chihuahua starts inching closer. What is you doing, bro? Is you trying to die? So at this point, I go out the back door. I know Kayla's crazy. I'm not about to get close to Kayla because I don't want Kayla to confuse me. So then I try to get the Chihuahua to leave. I'm like, get out of here. There's a whole lot of gang stuff going on over here. You don't want this problem. I promise. Out of nowhere, this lady comes around the corner.
Oh, thank goodness. There you are. Come here, Bubby. Come here, Bubby. Come here, Bubby.
The dog looks at her and looks back at Kayla like he's weighing his options like, So then the dog takes another step closer.
Good day for a swell battle. Now go!
Oh my God!
And then she jumps on top of Kayla. So now she's like fighting Kayla. So I grab the chain and then yank Kayla. Ma'am, are you okay? You want me to call an ambulance or something? No, it's okay, it's fine, it's okay. And she leaves. I never saw her again. So I tell my parents, they start having the conversation, do we get rid of the dog or nah? So at that point, I put her in the laundry room. I go to work. So I'm usually the first person home each day from work. I look in the laundry room, Kayla is gone. She dug a hole in the wall to escape. And this is all happening 3 days after that whole Chihuahua incident. I call my mom. Mom, Kayla's gone. What do you mean? She Shawshanked her way out of there. Find that dog now. We've got construction workers all over building new houses. We've got kids playing in yards. And this is the equivalent of Jurassic World when all the dinosaurs get out. My new hybrid dinosaur raptor is on the loose. When I was in the theater watching it, I'm sitting there watching it like, same girl, same. I know I've been there. This has happened to me too. So I jump in my car and just start driving, and I'm looking for this dog everywhere. And my mom is blowing up my phone. If that dog bites somebody, they're gonna sue us for everything, and we're gonna lose everything. As my mom's talking to me, I'm on Zillow putting our house up for sale. Drove around that block like 4 times. Y'all, when I tell you I don't know how I found this dog, I really don't. I got out of my car at one point, I just felt her presence, and I just yelled, Kayla! And I see his head peek up out of a bush. I just held my hand out like I had some food. I'm like, come get it! So when she came over, gotcha! Needless to say, by the end of the week, all dogs were gone. It was a clearance sale. My dad was standing outside of PetSmart like, hey, you want a dog? Sure, what's the worst that could happen?
Hello, McLean.
Okay.
This is the part where we fight.
I'm here to power down the mainframe. I'm not trying to fight you.
Oh, you're not fighting me. You're fighting my evil robot clone apprentice. He's twice as evil as I am, by the way. I have also placed a bomb in a school. You have to make a choice. You can stay and try to shut down your precious mainframe, or you can save the students in the school. It is now 3:29 p.m. At precisely 4:30 p.m., the bomb will go off and...
You do realize we lost an hour for daylight savings, right?
Forget the school. My apprentice here will make you wish you were never born.
I don't think so.
Let's go now! Incoming!
Dang. Well, sucks to be your apprentice right now.
That wasn't my real apprentice. That was merely the decoy. This is my real apprentice. Now you will die, McLean.
I'm gonna shut down that mainframe now, whether you want me to or not. Hold up, is that me?
What? There's two of you? How can this be?
I'm you from the future. Don't waste your time on this guy. Take the DeLorean, go back exactly 2 hours, and save the school students. Okay, hold on a second though. I thought that if you met yourself in time travel, there'd be some kind of time paradox. That's only in the movies, sWooZie. This is real life. Stop lollygagging. Take the DeLorean, go save the girls at the school. I'll handle this noob. Girls at the school? Yes, it's an all-girls college. The keys are still in the ignition, and whatever you do when you go back, watch out for the jaws next quick. Okay. Well, it seems we have unfinished business. We can do this the easy way, or the real easy way. So I get invited to the Jurassic World premiere, pull up to the red carpet of the Chinese theater, walk in, watch the movie. So the movie ends, this guy comes in and he's like, okay everybody, let's go upstairs and party! I was ready to go home and watch some anime because #HermitLife. I didn't even know there was gonna be a party. Me and my date follow everybody up these stairs. We get in and Universal spared no expense. They covered the walls in bushes, they had props from the movie, they even trained velociraptors to walk around and serve wine. So we walk around the party for a little bit and my date sees the guy from New Girl that was in the movie. Should I go ask for a picture? Yeah, he's standing over there by himself. Go get a picture, girl.
Excuse me. Oh, I don't want to disturb you, but can I get a quick picture?
I take a few pictures of him and she's like,
I love New Girl.
oh really? And starts talking her up. Alright, yep. I look over and I see the kid that was in the movie. Walk over to him, I'm like, bruh, can I get a quick picture? Yeah. So we take the picture and then all of a sudden, I notice a disturbance. There's a group of people in a tiff. Boom! I see his face clear as day. And I'm like, ooh. Bump, #HermitLife. Cowboy Bebop can wait. I need to feed my Instagram, and if I get a picture with Chris Pratt, I'm gonna be stunting on all my exes. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, it's him. So I say to her, I says, listen, we gotta get a picture with this dude. You're the best play. We're gonna push through this crowd. He's gonna take a look at you. You're a really pretty girl in a sexy dress. He's not gonna say no to you. He was headed north-ish. I don't know which direction it was because I don't work for National Geographic, but he was walking away from us. Then he looked over at us and he saw my date and she held her hands up and did like the signal for pictures. And I notice him notice my girl, and then his whole trajectory shifts. He takes a step in our direction and takes a picture, and another step in our direction and takes a picture. Then darts right over to my date. Hi. I hate to bother you. Can I take a quick selfie with you? Sure you can. She takes a few selfies. I bust out my camera, so I'm taking pictures of them taking pictures. And I'm there like, yes, yes, no, 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 yeah, yes, yes, yes. So then she's like, okay, thanks, no problem. This is my moment. So now I'm millimeters away from this dude. Guardians of the Galaxy, Jurassic Pork. And I wasn't scared to ask because I was nervous. I was more scared to ask because if this dude says no, I'ma hate him forever. I bumped into Natalie Portman at the airport one time. I was 2 feet away from her, but I was afraid to ask for a picture because if I'm like, hey, can I get a picture? And she's like, no, leave me alone. I'm gonna have to go home and make a voodoo doll of you. And I'm not ready to not like you. So let me just not even say anything. But I was like, you know what? Bump it. Hey, Mr. Pratt, can I get a quick picture? And then he puts his arm around me. You know what? Let's just enjoy the rest of the party. And walks away. The violin players from Titanic show up all of a sudden and they're like, I look over at my date.
Which filter should I put on here? Sierra or Valencia? By the way, Adonde, can you like airdrop me the pictures you took of us? I know you took like 90 of them, but like, could you just airdrop me 75 of them, please?
I just wanted one picture. And Chris Pratt's over here like, you didn't say the magic word. So the next day, my date posts a picture with her and Chris, and her IG broeded it up. Every one of her exes DM'd her like, are you freaking kidding me? You're hanging out with Chris Pratt? And I'm sitting there all salty like, man, I want to make my exes peanut butter and jelly. CP, can I call you CP? CP, I still want that picture. So I don't know how you want to do this. Do you want to have your agent get in contact with my agent and they do lunch and then they work out like a day and time for us to meet at P.F. Chang's? And just so you know, I'm traveling in 2 weeks, so like the end of this month is not good for me. But after the first week of next month, I'm good. So LMK, bruh. LMK. I hate bullies. You hate bullies. Nobody likes bullies. And see, what sucks is it's hard to go to a teacher. Because if you go to the teacher and the teacher goes to that bully, guess what? That bully's gonna come at you 100 times harder. Plus, that's not how I was raised. My hood would never let me be no snitch. Me and my homies, we robbed a bank once. I got busted. Granted, it was on Grand Theft Auto. And yeah, I was only in jail for like 5 seconds, but still, I ain't no snitch. There was this kid, Jonathan. I was in 7th grade, he was in 9th grade. This dude would constantly harass me, flick my ear, pull chairs off from underneath me when I'm trying to sit, punch me in the shoulder. One day in the hall, this dude hit me so hard in the back of the head, I legit forgot where I was at. Everybody was laughing at me, like I was fighting back the tears. It was so embarrassing. I wanted to tell the teachers, but I ain't no snitch, okay? I did my nickel, and I ain't rat on nobody. And then halfway through the school year, we got this new kid named Austin. Austin was a pretty boy, and all the girls were in love with him. Jonathan ain't like that one bit. He took all that energy he was focusing on me and shifted it to Austin. After Jonathan stopped bullying me, like my mom would be driving me to school and I'd be like, do you smell that, Mom? Do you smell that? You know what that smell is? It smells like freedom. Today is where my book begins, and the rest is just unwritten. It felt so good to come to school and not be bullied. One day I step out into the hall after class, and Jonathan has Austin pinned up against a locker. And Austin's like, if you hit me one more time, I'm gonna get my cousin to come over here tomorrow after school and kick your butt. And he goes to Robbinswood. We went to a private school, and Robbinswood was like the public school version of our private school. And private school teachers always use those scare tactics so you don't leave the private school and go to a public school. So we were all petrified of Robbinswood kids because of all the brainwashing. Jonathan wasn't buying his bluff. I don't care. Get your cousin. Get your cousin and all his friends. I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of him. I ain't scared of nobody. So the next day, school ends, and I step out the gym, and I see Jonathan sitting on the patio, and I'm like, let me just get comfortable. And then about 10 minutes later, guess who comes walking around the corner off the street? Yup, Austin. And guess who he's with? Yup, his cousin. And I'm like, oh dang, junk is about to get raw. I just see Austin's lips move, and then his cousin did like this power march toward Jonathan. And Jonathan steps away from the group, and his face just turns white. As his cousin gets closer, he puts his hands up like, hey, listen, man, listen. His cousin doesn't say a word. Bow! No questions, son. Punched him right in his muffin. He was like, bam, ding, 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 ding. It was over. I wanted to run over and be like, boom, headshot, MLG Pro. Look at me, look at me. He is the captain now, okay? And you know, I thought that was it. Like, fight's over. But nah, he beat the crap out of Jonathan, and all of Jonathan's boys just stood around watching. Not one of them tried to help. I felt like I was watching Marvel vs. Capcom in real life. Like, he's throwing Jonathan up in the air. He's got assist characters coming in and throwing lasers at him. He walked back over to Austin, and then I see Jonathan like limping toward him, and he goes, yeah, you better run. Probably not the smartest thing for Jonathan to say, because then Austin's cousin turned around, ran back over to him, grabbed him by the hair, and then starts slamming his head into the wall over and over. And then he just walked off like nothing. Like, his shirt wasn't even wrinkled. The next day at school, it looked like Jonathan
had been neutered. He didn't talk to nobody. He sure as heck was not bullying Austin no more. He wasn't bullying me. He didn't bully anybody for the rest of the year. It almost seemed like he turned into a foreign exchange student who didn't know English. You know, he'd barely speak. Can somebody pass me an eraser, please? And that's it.
If you're clowning somebody else at school, stop it. If you physically are touching or laying hands on somebody else at school, stop it. Let's just make this real simple, since a lot of bullies don't realize they're bullying people. Don't say or do anything to anybody that you wouldn't want them to say or do to you. That's it. So I'm talking to this girl and she says, Adonde, I met this guy. He is so good looking. He asked for my number. We started texting. I'm not even into this dude anymore. He is so fine, but he's such a boring texter. I asked some of the other girls that I know if this ever happens to them, and they all had similar stories. Either they come on way too strong, or their average text can fit on one line. These are the kind of texts that I get. Hand on a stack of Bible apps, this is a real text, because I keep my texts fun and flirtatious, and I give the girl a little bit of room to chase. Texting is an art form, and as you can tell by these mind-blowing stick figures, I'm pretty good at art. But you guys gotta ask questions in your text. Every text doesn't have to be a question, but that question mark is huge. Also guys, if you meet a girl and you get her phone number, that first text that you send to her, do not give up all the power. Oh my God, you are so gorgeous. I am so glad I met you. I had an amazing time. The heavens opened up. Champagne rained down from the sky. I really hope we can do it again sometime. Do not send that text. No challenge, no chase, game over. It's also not a good idea to text for the sake of texting, okay? But I haven't talked to her in 3 days. I better send a text to keep conversation going. Text with a purpose. And that purpose should be to hang out with this lovely young lady in person. And then once that happens, your next purpose should be to cuddle. That's the end goal, okay? This is how I do it. Yeah, girl. You know you like that. Any whoosies, you could text for the sake of texting and send something like, whoa, it got randomly hot today, right? Yeah, you're asking a question, but that setup doesn't really lead to too many engaging responses. What you could say instead is, yo, ridiculously hot today, wanna grab some ice cream. And if a girl turns down free ice cream, she's either an alien or racist or both. And it's best you find out now before your mid-cuddle session, and then, you know, junk gets really awkward. Girls love to feel pursued, and most love feeling wanted, but if you come on too strong, she'll 100,000% gossip about you to all her friends. So fellas, avoid that triple text. And in a lot of cases, the more you push, the less attractive you become. Give your text purpose, but every text shouldn't be, yo, when we gonna chill? Yo, when we gonna chill? Yo, what you doing today? Yo, yo. You wanna hang out? If a girl wants to hang out with you and you catch her on a bad day, she's gonna be like, nah, can't hang out today, but what are you doing on Friday? But if it's excuse after excuse after excuse. Also, if your average texts are these massive walls of words longer than the airport runway at the end of Fast and Furious 6, and her average text is one line, there's a problem. Make sure y'all are matching sizes. And same with response times, make sure those match up too. Taking too long to reply can make you seem a little lame. And don't be afraid to tell her if you're too busy at the moment to text back. Pretty girls aren't used to hearing that. Yo, playing Mario Party, let me hit you back. Side note, Princess Daisy is a cheating, backstabbing skis, BRB. If a girl doesn't want to cuddle your face off after you send a text like that, she's probably a robot. Thanks for watching. I had such an amazing time. The heavens opened up. Champagne rained down from the sky. I really hope we can do this again sometime. So my boy invites me to his pool party. And this guy normally has parties where all my friends show up at, so I normally know pretty much everybody at the party. Show up at the party, walk out to the pool. 25 people out there, we're all having a good time. I'm sitting down on one of the pool chairs. So two of my friends walk over and one of them goes, Donde, I just seen this YouTube video with you dancing around topless, wearing an Optimus Prime helmet, and your abs is all up on the screen. Let me feel them. Ooh, oh my God. You can like grate cheese on these, look. Yeah, maybe you should stop, cause your boyfriend doesn't look happy. My boyfriend doesn't even care. Look at him, he's smiling. He thinks it's funny. Yeah, I think I see steam coming out of his ears right now. So the party goes on. I'm sitting down, looking through my phone, checking Twitter. Look up, all the dudes are gone. I am the only guy on this pool deck. 12 girls are in the pool. I look in through the glass door. Every guy is inside doing, I don't know what. I think they're either arm wrestling or eating steak or watching football or all three. I don't know. I'm trying to avoid trouble at this party. Then this girl Megan's like, Donde, get in, the water's perfect. I'm like, nah, I'm finna go inside, so yeah, I'm gonna let y'all handle that.
Okay, girls, well, since Adonde doesn't want to get in the pool, I got an idea. Let's get naked!
I kind of just like glance up and smirk and look back down. Now, see, the thing I didn't tell you guys about Megan, she is that one girl, I don't know if you guys have friends like this, she's the one girl that has influence over all of her circle. So when she wants to do something crazy, all her girls are always down. 30 seconds later, every single one of these girls in the pool is topless. I'm the only guy out here. If one of their boyfriends step outside and see this, fellas, what do you do in this situation? Like, leave a comment. I'm being serious. At this moment right here, we're pausing. What do you do in this situation? I get up and I take one step toward the door. The Megan girl jumps out of the pool, runs over and gives me a big ol' hug. This girl is dripping water, topless, bear hugging me. I'm glancing at that door, just waiting for her boyfriend to walk out and be like, yo, what the Guys, sWooZie's out here trying to get our girlfriends pregnant. And have him and every dude at this party ready to kill me. No, not okay with the situation. I think I need an adult. I got inside so fast. I'm sharing this story for two reasons. One, on my Driving While Black Part 2, that was a remake, so I saw a few comments like, sWooZie, obviously nothing crazy is happening to you anymore if you're retelling old stories. Not the case. Crazy stuff still happens. Two, all the girls that were at that party watched my videos, so I gotta come out here and let y'all know, listen, I ain't no punk. Y'all all have boyfriends. If they were to come outside and see me, underneath this thuggish exterior, I'm really delicate and I'm fragile, alright? I'm a lover, not a fighter. I hate it when you realize somebody's using you. Because in your mind, you're like, yay, friendship. But in reality, I'm chilling at my boy's house. Let's just call him Logan Paul. It's not really Logan Paul. Me and Logan are hanging out. One of Logan's friends shows up, this cute girl. Let's call her Julia Kelly. It's not really Julia Kelly. Me, Logan, and Julia hang out for 3 hours, and then me and Logan walk Julia to her car. We get to Julia's car, and then Logan goes, sWooZie, look away while I tell Julia goodbye. So I'm assuming he's kissing this girl goodbye. A few weeks later, I'm on Instagram. I am deep down the rabbit hole of the search page, and I find this random girl. Let's call her Chantel. It's not really Chantel. Fast forward to the next night, I get a push notification that she's doing a live stream. She's on the stream and she goes, guys, I'm so bored. Who should I call? Someone in the chat goes, hey, call your boy Logan Paul. Logan don't even be messing with me like that. Like he just won't even reply to my texts. Not even 4 days later, guess who I bump into as I'm walking into a meeting? Logan Paul. I link up with Logan after the meeting and I'm like, bro, how do you know Chantel? How are you not trying to wifey her up? Man, I don't know. I'm just not even feeling her like that. He takes out his phone and FaceTimes her. Then he's like, yo, let me introduce you to my boy, sWooZie. He hands me the phone and I'm like, hi, yeah, no. We talk for a hot minute. I give Logan back his phone, but I'm like, all right, phase 2. When I leave, text her later tonight and be like, yo, when are me, you, and Swooze gon' kick it? I go home, go to sleep, wake up the next day, Chantel posted some snaps. Logan is on every single one of her snaps. Starting at 10 p.m. the night before till like 2 a.m. that morning. Word. This is like that kid who has all the toys and ignores them until a friend comes over and is like, can I play with—
No! My toys! Get away.
TFTI. I went and looked at his Snapchat. Not a single post. Not one. I'm not gonna lie, that made me feel some type of way. How you gonna do me like that? Let's fast forward a little bit. I'm going down the list, replying to DMs, and then I see a message from Julia. Hey you, please tell me you live in LA. Seems innocent, right? 2 DMs back and forth, numbers are already exchanged. Y'all know how it is. Julia texts me and says, hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's link up. So I meet up with her at In-N-Out. We hang out at In-N-Out for a little bit, eat, come back here. So we're there talking, we're just talking about life, and then she's like, I don't know if I'm gonna be in LA much longer, like this might be my last month here. We're talking for a little bit, and we get on the topic of celebrities. Then she goes, yeah, I hang out with Chris a lot, and whenever there's other girls around, they get mad because Chris takes all their phones, but I get to keep mine. Chris, you talking about Chris Brown?
yeah, Chris is so cool. I hang out with him, and then she names like all these other A-list celebrities, and I believe her because, I mean, the girl is freaking gorgeous. So I'm like, why come you're so special? She goes, well, see, all these other girls hook up with them. I don't. So I think I'm like the prize they're trying to win. Then she pulls out her phone and shows me video of her selfieing with these celebrities. I finished watching the video. This girl leans in and kisses me. Not hyping it up for the YouTube, not exaggerating. Okay, you and Logan, what's up with that? I'm not trying to... So he really wants me, but I've already told him we had the talk, like we're just friends. Yeah, but we walked you to the car and he kissed you though. Like I told him not to do that again. So then I'm thinking, what do I have that Chris Brown, all these other A-list celebrities, and Logan don't have? Like what's so special about me that literally the first time we hang out by ourselves? So it's like 1 or 2 a.m. now. We're on this couch watching TV. She starts rubbing my leg and she goes, is it cool if I spend the night? I mean, I guess. So then she's like, all right, let me borrow some pajamas. Go in my bedroom, give her some pajamas, she's on the bed. Come back outside, I turn off all the lights, go back in the bedroom, and she's asleep. 40 seconds from me leaving the bedroom and coming back, you're asleep? You could have slept in the guest bedroom, but you slept in my bed. Note to self. Next morning I wake up and she's like, okay, I gotta go. Is it okay if I keep these clothes? My Uber's here. It's whatevers. Now I was gonna tell Logan about this, but then I was like, I'll just tell him tomorrow. 3 days later, I get another text from her. Hey, what are you doing tonight? Let's kick it. This is like at midnight. She comes over, she asks to spend the night. I say, she asks for some clothes to wear. I say, I brush my teeth, come back out, jump in the bed. Me and Julia start making out a little bit. 2 minutes into this makeout session, she rolls over like, good night. A few nights later, I'm hanging out with my boy Alex Wasabi, and I tell him this whole story. And he looks at me and he goes, bro, you're the sexless innkeeper. What? What is that? Sexless innkeeper. They make you think some stuff's gonna go down, but they're just using you as like a hotel. I decided I'm gonna test this theory. Julia hits me up a day later. Hey, what are you doing tonight? I text her back, hey, I can't chill. I'm editing. But if you wanna chill tomorrow, between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., no text back. 2 days later, another text from Julia. Hey, what are you doing tonight? I'm editing again tonight, boo, I'm sorry, but listen, I'm free all weekend long during the day. She texts me like 2 or 3 more times throughout the week. And I just basically tell her, nights are not good for me. I'll hang out with you whenever you want, just during the day. And yeah, ever since I took spending the night off the table, I have not seen or heard from this girl since. So hard out here for a pimp. I go to get my car alignment done and I have like a 2-inch drop on my car, and when your car is lowered, you can't just go to those regular like alignment shops, you have to go to a performance shop. So I walk in and I start talking to the guy and I'm like, my man, I have to leave for New York tomorrow and I have like a million errands to get done. How many people are in front of me? Like what's the wait right now? And he's like, oh man, we got like a few cars ahead of you, so it's gonna be a few hours. Wait, hold on. You look are you sWooZie from YouTube? Yeah. Bro, oh my god, my girlfriend loves you. Like, she walks around the house quoting your she shares your videos with everybody. This guy points and he's like, why don't you just take my car and you can just come back like in an hour. So let's just say his car was a, I don't know, red Audi R8 convertible. So then I'm like, yo, pause the DVD, rewind, pause, play. I'm pretty sure Jake from State Farm doesn't have me covered on your plan. He's like, bro, I trust you, okay? I would be honored if you took my car. Just go, run your errands, just make sure to be back here by 6 o'clock. So I do what any red-blooded Trinidadian male would have done in that situation. Like, I'm out. So I'm on Turnpike now, driving down, listening to Taylor Swift, and then this silver Honda Accord flies by me on the left-hand side. And I'm just like, whatever. And about 30 seconds later, on my right-hand side, this Bronco speeds by. The Bronco passes the Accord, but then I see him slam on his brakes to like match speeds with the Honda. And from the back, I can see his head turn and he's just staring hard. So after about 60 seconds, the Bronco just speeds off. So you know, I'm a detective, so I gotta investigate the situation. I speed up,
and match speeds. And I look over, yo. Like, I'm not even gonna go into details, but the girl that was driving the Accord, the girl looked good. I know when I'm driving around and I see a cute girl in a car next to me and she's in like a nice car, her attraction like skyrockets. So I'm wondering, ladies, maybe y'all could tell me in the comments, like, does that work the other way around? Because right now I'm looking like I roll up to the ATM and poof, turn it to dust, son. So she looks over and we make eye contact and she starts smiling. So I give her a little nod and I smile back. I know girls that look this good usually don't want it if it's too easy. So what do? Speed off. Come get me, girl. I don't know what kind of came over. I think it just like I got nervous and was just like, I'm gonna go. And then if you don't chase me, I'll slow down. I get about 4 car lengths out in front of her. And then she speeds by me. I speed up and as I pass her, we catch eyes again and we're both smiling. I go off again. Look down at the speedometer, I'm doing 100. So now I'm about 2 car lengths ahead of her and I'm looking in my rearview mirror. Guess what I catch this girl doing? I see her looking in her rearview mirror and putting on lip gloss and like fixing her hair and stuff. And I'm just like, pause the DVD, rewind, pause, play. I see you back there trying to be my WCE right now. After she finishes fixing herself up, she starts speeding up again. I'm doing like 110. There's no cars around. So she catches up with me and we're side by side. And I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, we're smiling. She didn't chase after that Bronco. She's chasing after me. So I hold up my phone and I just mouth the words, what's your number? And in my head, I'm thinking, you know, she's gonna be like 407, you know, like that. And she starts cursing me out, yelling all kind of profanities. She was doing a lot of this as she was talking, but the basic message was, you idiot, we're on Turnpike. How am I gonna give you my number? But with like a lot of F-bombs in there. So let this be a lesson to everybody. Just because you see someone attractive in a car next to you and they chase you down and they play cat and mouse and they're smiling at you and fixing themselves up, doesn't even mean that they're even remotely interested. Way to go, I was about to make you my WCE. So at my last job, I was a lifeguard at the Hard Rock Hotel. One morning at like 8 a.m., I go in and the pool is dead. I love opening shifts because when the pool is dead, I just take a nap. So I'm watching the water and this lady comes up to me and she goes,
Excuse me, young man. What's the quickest way to Oh my God! You are so handsome.
Another family comes out and they go to the other side of the pool and the dad and the daughter in this family jump in the water. Wow, okay, I'm sorry to be this forward, but oh my God, you are so handsome. Anytime anybody comes to the guard stand and tries to talk to me, I keep looking at the water. I keep scanning, but I just talk to them without making eye contact. This lady's getting ready for cuffing season because she is just showering me with compliments, and I take my eyes off the water for the first time ever to talk to somebody. Your jawline. Are your parents models? Your lips, oh my God, and your eyes. And see, that's when I was like, girl, bye. I have black eyes. Okay, you had me going until you started talking about my eyes. Then she looks away from me and looks at the pool and she goes, oh, that guy over there, he doesn't look too hot. So I look up at the dad and there's a few warning signs that something was wrong. He wasn't moving, he was face down, and he was blue. I'm like, is this dude dead? Steve Harvey runs out, survey says? Any lifeguard will tell you, kids come out to the pool and do the dead man float every day. How does a 5'9" man drown in a 4-foot pool? Explain it. I'm sitting here looking at this dude like, any second now, buddy. You could just stand up, joke's over. Then the lady goes, I gotta go, bye. The mom, daughter, and son are standing there looking at me like, hello, do something, bro. Michelle is the other lifeguard on duty. She's walking around roaming. She sees this. She walks over. The daughter kind of pushes her lifeless dad's body to the edge of the pool, and Michelle pulls him out, coming up out the water looking like Jinx with them big old lips. 30 minutes later, the paramedics come out. They go back to the ambulance, come back with a stretcher. At this point, he starts moving a little bit. The paramedics are looking at me on the guard stand like, wow, he was up there the whole time? The Grim Reaper shows up and he's helping the paramedics carry the dad back to the ambulance. Jen, my supervisor, shows up and she freaks out. She runs over, talks to Michelle, then runs over to me and she was like,
What happened?
Obviously, you're not doing a good job supervising me because look at this. Look at what you did. My office, now. So apparently what happened is the dad and the daughter were underwater trying to see who could hold their breath longest. And the daughter came up and the dad never did. So when the paramedics got there, they said he dry drowned. I went home and looked up dry drowning. I still don't know what it means.
I'll leave you guys with this. Splitting your attention, like when you're driving, giving your phone 40% and the road 60%, 60% is still an F. You go through life giving anything 60, 50%, still an F. So if you're gonna do something, give it 100, especially when you're a lifeguard.
Oh, and people, when I come around, they just start speaking their language, and I know like 98% of the time, I feel like people are talking trash about me. I want to learn like 97 different languages and then travel the world, but while I travel, I would wear the most ridiculous outfits. I'd be somewhere overseas and people will be like, "Wat go snack mit nun Seiten?" And I'll turn around and be like, "Bolzenwagen Mercedes." Black man speak German. That's right, sucker. Sup. You know what? I'm putting my foot down right now. I'm gonna start prioritizing my time. I'm gonna discipline myself. I'm gonna stop procrastinating, but starting tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. My female friends hit me up and they tell me these stories about how they flirted their way out of speeding tickets, and I hear these stories often. And if you're a guy watching this video, you can probably relate to me when I say, I don't get chances to flirt when I get pulled over. Plus I'm black. Ain't no flirting out of nothing. I get a call from my friend Wendy one day, and I'm just gonna say this about Wendy. Wendy's chromosomes line up very nicely, okay? Girl looked good. And she starts telling me how she just got a $1,300 ticket. As she's telling the story, it's pretty obvious to me that the cop was trying to let her off with a warning, but she went straight hood rat.
How dare you pull me over? You were hiding in the bushes like a homeless bum. You can't hide when you clock people. That's entrapment.
So because she was mouthing off, not only did he give her a speeding ticket, he added on a bunch of fines and then doubled it because she was in a construction zone. When she finished telling me the story, I made a promise, if I ever get the chance to flirt my way out of a ticket, I'm gonna show you how it's done. So a few weeks later, I'm driving, and for those of you familiar with the Orlando area, this is on Old Winter Garden Road. They were turning 2 lanes into 3 lanes, and I'm driving, I look up, massive construction out of nowhere. I realize I'm the only car in this lane. Look over my shoulder, and I start to turn. As I turn into this lane, I realize the car behind me is a cop. This cop speeds up and almost rams me, and then all of a sudden, they put on their sirens, like, so then I'm thinking, what the heck did I do? Like, what was I supposed to crash back there? Like, why are you even trying to pull me over right now? So now here's the picture. I'm in the only lane available, stuck in traffic. This cop is behind me going crazy on the sirens like this is Coachella or Ultrafest. And a bunch of cones and construction to my right. I can't go anywhere. And I'm sitting in the car, kind of just staring through the front window, thinking to myself, there's no way this cop wants me to pull over right here in the middle of the lane. Then I hear,
Pull over now! Right now!
That's a lady cop's voice. So I pull over in the construction and there's like massive rocks and Lord knows what over here. All I'm concerned about is not running over a nail at this point. So I turn off my car and I'm like, okay, let's do this. Look up in my rearview mirror and out steps a lady cop. But it wasn't just a female cop. It was a black female cop. And I'm like, yes, it is about to be on like Diddy Kong racing. I'm about to lay the Mac down so bad you don't even know. Ask about me. So now I've got 2 mission objectives. Objective number 1, flirt with the female cop. Objective number 2, get out of paying a ticket. Now this lady cop doesn't walk up to my driver's side window. She walks up to the passenger side window. Boom, 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 boom. This lady started banging on my window so hard, I thought I was listening to the Jurassic Park soundtrack.
Open this door right now!
Okay.
Roll down the window now!
And I'm sitting there like, what in the what? This is not how I visioned this whole scenario playing out in my head. I make all my movements really slow and awkward just to kind of maybe give her some time to realize how psychotic she's acting right now. I didn't have automatic windows. I had the old school roll down windows, okay? Don't ask, all right? So I lean over real slow. I'm manually rolling this window down and I'm looking at this lady like she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then she starts.
What is your problem? What is your problem? You almost killed me back there. Where did you learn how to drive? Did you learn how to drive at a school for blind people? How long have you had your license?
Since I was 16.
I would,
This lady is talking in like fragments, like she has Tourette's, like she's not even finishing a sentence. She is so mad. You know, I don't see this ending well, so in my mind, I'm just like, I'm gonna have to bust a kamehameha up in this girl's grill, cause she obviously don't know who she's dealing with.
Give me your license register.
And it's at this point that I add a 3rd mission objective to my list. Don't get shot, cause this lady is about 10 seconds away from grabbing her gun, popping some caps off my car, and then claiming self-defense.
I would write you the biggest ticket I've ever written in my life if I was not in a rush.
Oh, you are so lucky right now. You are so lucky right now.
Now, I've joked about the Street Fighter bonus stage in the past, but for the first time, I'm fearful I'm about to be on the receiving end of that, because all I'm waiting for is some random dude to drive by and then yell out, "Round 1, fight!" And this lady goes ballistic. So she yells her head off some more, runs back to her car, and before the smoke even clears, she's gone. And I'm like, what just happened? Okay, mission status. Objective 1, flirt with the lady cop. Failed. Objective 2, get out of paying a ticket. Okay, pass. Objective 3, avoid getting shot up. Pass. As I'm sitting there, it dawned upon me like, I get it. That lady cop obviously is not attracted to You already know that I share a lot of my personal life on YouTube, so I'll skip over a lot of the boring parts and get right to the juicy stuff. I was born on a little island in the Caribbean called Trinidad. What some of you guys don't know is I was actually conceived out of wedlock. I was an accident. My parents were still in college. These things happen. They got married 3 months before I was born and then moved to Trinidad. 2 years after I was born, my little sister Deka came along and we played outside all the time. I'll never forget, there was this girl that lived directly behind me. She was like 17 and she was so beautiful. One day I was playing with my toys and she took one of my action figures, stood him up, and drew him. I thought this was witchcraft. I grabbed my own pencil and paper and started drawing too. I showed my parents and they freaked out. Even though it probably looked like crap, that was the right encouragement at the right time. And I drew almost every day from that day on. Now in Trinidad, I lived in a town called Digomatin. And at the time, it was a pretty rough area. Like I remember going to the bank and my dad would tell me, if some guys come in here wearing masks and they start screaming and waving guns around, just lay down on the floor, don't look at them. And I remember waking up one night and saw some random guy in my hallway and then another random guy going through my drawer, and I was like, oh, I've been expecting you guys. Well, I know what to do. I'm just gonna lay here and look away. I wake up the next morning and walk into the living room. Yeah, we've been robbed. So as a safety measure, my parents put bars on all the doors and all the windows, and then we got like 10 attack guard dogs. And some of you guys might have noticed I have a little scar on my left cheek. That's because one of those dogs attacked me. A few months after that, we packed up all of our stuff and moved to America. The first thing I noticed is that the soda here tasted really nasty. Second thing I noticed, y'all had cable TV. See, in Trinidad, we only had 2 channels. One that showed Looney Tunes all day, and another channel that showed old kung fu movies with the cheesy sound effects. And then I discovered the Disney animated movies. Shortly after I discovered Disney, I discovered anime. And right around the time I found anime, I got into video games. When I had that controller in my hand, everything in the world just felt right. Well, you know, I didn't perform too well in school because I was so obsessed. My dad was really big on grades. I don't know, it's like when I would study, I would get bad grades. And when I wouldn't study, I would still get bad grades. So it just felt like a lose-lose situation. Meanwhile, my sister is getting like A's and B's, and whenever we get good grades, he would reward us with stuff. So here she is, like, you know, at 9 years old, but he just bought her a Lexus and a TV and a bunch of crap that she doesn't need. It was around this time that I got my hands on a camcorder. This is way before YouTube. I'd record little video blogs and then have my friends come over and I'd sit them down and watch it. Now from kindergarten to 5th grade, like so many other YouTubers that you've seen me draw my lives for, I got bullied too. In middle school, my parents sent me to a private school and I got bullied there too. It was also around this time that all my friends started getting girlfriends. Anytime any relationship drama would start, I, for whatever reason, became the guy that everybody would come to. So after school every day, I was literally on the phone for hours talking to different friends that was having different relationship problems. I'd hear myself give some advice and I'd be like, yo, I need to write this down because 13-year-olds aren't supposed to be thinking like this. Now at this private school, they would borderline force Jesus down your throat. And as I'm reading along in my Bible, it's saying how Jesus was very humble and would share his knowledge. That's not what these guys were doing. Now, my parents started to notice that my teachers weren't really that qualified. So in 10th grade, they sent me to a public school. And believe it or not, the period that I dreaded the most was lunch because I had 0 friends. So what I would do is I would buy my lunch, go outside by myself, and eat. It was pretty depressing. I was so happy when I actually started making friends. So when I started going to the public school, I could wear whatever I want, and I started wearing a lot of Nike clothes. And kids started calling me Nike Boy, some friends called me Swoosh, and then Swoosh eventually evolved into the name sWooZie. One of my friends that I got in good with, his name was Will. And Will worked at Disney. Every other day he would come in with these hilarious stories about his job and the people that he worked with and the guests that would come in at Disney. I needed some money to support my video game habit, so I figured, hey, let me try Disney's. And I got hired. I really wanted to make friends with all the college program kids, but the managers did a very good job of quarantining me to the point to where it wasn't cool to hang out with me at all. Stopped working at Disney, but the one job that I really enjoyed was when I got the job at Hard Rock Hotel. And it was around this time that a little game fell into my lap called Dead or Alive. And when I got online with it, there weren't a lot of people that were beating me. I was just going on like 150 game win streaks before I get a single loss. People would join my room just to watch me. Word of mouth about me spread really quickly in DOA because of how I played with this character. I got so involved in this game. Like, I found a fan website, I was writing articles, I was doing interviews. DOA 4 came out and they changed up so many moves for my character. I had no style in the game anymore. Like, all the moves that I built my style around were gone. It's almost like telling Michael Jackson, we need you to perform, you can't do the moonwalk, you can't grab your crotch, you can't say hee hee, can't do none of that. Pretty much stopped playing DOA seriously and was just doing school and working at Hard Rock Hotel full time. One of the things I loved working at Hard Rock, you got to hang out with celebrities all the time. I would see some celebrities come out there who hated their fans. I'm not even joking with you guys. I graduated high school and then everyone was asking me that question, okay, what are you gonna do now that you're in the real world? And I would tell people, I wanna do a movie. I wanna be a writer / director. And everyone, with the exception of about 3 people, did a very good job of stomping all over my dreams. Now, because I loved animation, I applied at Ringling School of Art and Design and CalArts. I get into one of these really deep conversations that you have, with your friends, and she was saying, when I say I love a guy, I show it. When I say I love God, I don't really show it. And that conversation stuck with me for a few days, and coincidentally, I heard somebody else give an interesting point that kind of picked up where that conversation left off, and he said, people talk about beliefs. If this stuff is real, you should be able to test it, you should be able to apply it to your life, you should be able to see the results, and everybody around you should be able to see the results. Planes weigh 84,000 pounds. There's nothing about that big chunk of steel that should allow it to fly at 30,000 feet. When you add rubber in the right place and you curve that metal a certain way and get it to a certain speed, there's a whole list of rules that once you apply it to that piece of metal, that will allow it to do the impossible. And just the way he was putting it all together, it really stuck with me. So I thought to myself, you know what? Let me try to apply some of these moral rules to my lifestyle. All of a sudden, my life got 10 times worse. CalArts denied me. Ringling denied me. Saved up all summer to hook up my car. It got broken into and they stole everything. My girlfriend, she cheated on me. I did a really good job of masking how I really felt on the outside, but everything was going wrong. I remember coming home after a bad day and I went over to YouTube and I found this video from this guy called Winecone, and the videos he was putting up back then had me rolling. Like, I remember watching one of his videos and I laughed so hard. If I ever get on YouTube, this is gonna be my primary objective, is to give people what I feel right now. One day out of the complete blue random, I get a call from this girl named Diane. Now Diane starts telling me how there's gonna be this gaming event, it's gonna be on TV, it's gonna be in San Francisco. And because I was really rusty and not really playing DOA 4 that much, I tried to back out like a little punk, like, nah, She said, as soon as we pick you up from the airport, we will give you $500 cash, and once you get there, you're gonna be competing for $10,000. And you'll be on TV. Okay, at that point she had me. And you guys remember how I said I was having a string of bad luck? Guess what happened next? Yeah, my Xbox got the red ring of death, so I could not practice. Flew over to San Francisco, came in third, and then went back to work at Hard Rock Hotel. Now, once I got back to work, I was constantly coming back from my shifts late because once word started spreading around the hotel that I'm gonna be on TV, everybody wanted to stop me and ask me how I got into the gaming thing. You know what? I'm just gonna make a YouTube channel and I'll update everybody there so that way I'm not like a broken record 90 times a day repeating the same thing. And I slowly felt myself getting gradually addicted to uploading videos. So, shortly after this, I stumbled onto an interview at cgchannel.com where they were interviewing one of the top guys at ILM. And toward the end of the interview, he said he was going through the process of finding a project that would take him from 0 to 60 for their first attempt at making a feature film. I just called up ILM and got a hold of this guy. He actually patched me through to his superior, Patty Blau. And as I'm talking to this lady, I'm looking her up on IMDb. Worked on Jurassic Park, she worked on Back to the Future 3, she worked on Star Wars Episode 6. So I told her about my script, she told me where to send it, she got back to me and she was like, this is one of the most layered screenplays I've gotten in years. For our first project, we kind of wanted to target the Shrek audience and demographic. This project is more PG-13, so unfortunately we're going to have to pass, and they actually passed on my script to make the movie Rango. Now, back in the gaming world, DirecTV announces that they're actually going to start a full-blown TV show about gaming. They're going to have a draft, and
And the best players that compete at this competition are gonna get $30,000 and be on a team. And you guys know the expression, don't quit your day job? That's exactly what I did, okay? I saved up for about a month and a half, and then I kind of just went on call, and it was the scariest move I had ever made in my entire life. Because most of the top DOA players, they didn't have day jobs, so they just sat home playing DOA, practicing all day, and I already had a lot of catching up to do, so practiced my butt off, took my last $1,500, spent it on a plane ticket and a hotel, and I even overdrew from my bank account. I'm not gonna lie, I had to call my parents and ask for some money to get transferred over to my bank account. The day of the event, I was so nervous, and to add to all the stress, I had a manager walk up to me and he was like, some of these other top players, they're saying you're all hype, you're saying you're not good at this game, I hear you're a nice guy and everything, but I don't care about that. I'm here to pick the best players in DOA, and from what I'm hearing, you're not one of them. So don't be surprised if I don't pick you. So the tournament starts, I win one, I lose one, win one, lose one, and the players I was losing to weren't really considered top players. The managers at this tournament had the power to pull 2 players of their choosing out of the brackets and set them up on the main stage for a challenge match. Then the managers started calling me up for the challenge matches. They put me up against all the top DOA players that were there back to back. And I went undefeated. Then I got matched up with one of the dudes that I suspected was doing a lot of this trash talking, and I beat the brakes off this dude. And then for my final challenge match, I got set up to fight Master. Now, out of the last 10 DOA tournaments, Master had won like 13 of them. So I sat down, win a round, lose a round, win a round, lose a round, win a round, and then Master suddenly just stands up and goes to shake my hand, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? And he's like, it's done, it's over, congratulations. I look at the screen, and I won by 1 round. So the next day of the draft, they drive us over to the Playboy Mansion, and I got drafted to the Los Angeles team. Quitting my day job, not having any money in the bank, this was a huge moment for me. Master gets drafted to the Dallas team, so at the after party, I walk up to him and I'm like, hey, if you intentionally took a dive, it means more to me than you will ever know. And I kind of got a little choked up. For every team, you had a male DOA player and a female DOA player. My team drafted a female who had just picked up DOA, so she really didn't know too much about the game. However, my manager believed, because she was a competitive PC player, that she'd be able to pick up DOA pretty quickly. That wasn't the case. DirecTV moved all the players out to LA to film the first season, and my manager had me spending all 8 weeks teaching my teammate how to play this game. So for those 8 weeks that I was out there, I only won like 2 games. I had no practice. Needless to say, come season 2, I didn't get drafted. However, DirecTV had me on the show doing MC work and some hosting stuff, so I'd interview the players, that kind of thing. Now, right after season 2 ended with DirecTV, this other video game TV show came along called WCG Ultimate Gamer. I went out, I auditioned, I got casted, and that whole experience was just equally as crazy. So with all this crazy traveling and all the exciting gaming stuff going on, I had a lot of content to put up on my YouTube channel. A few months later, a mutual friend of mine introduced me to his classmate, a girl by the name of Michelle Fons. Michelle did YouTube, and she had like 200,000 subscribers at the time. So we started following each other on Twitter. We started DMing each other. She was like, you need to get up on that partner program, and you need to start taking YouTube really serious, because your videos are pretty good. Took her advice, skipped forward a year and a half. I'm out in LA for a gaming event, and my friend Jacob Patterson takes me to a house party. I walk in, Shay Carl is there, Smosh is there. About 30 minutes after I got there, in walks Andrea's Choice and Michelle Fawn. And this was actually the very first time me and Michelle met each other in real life. We sat down on the couch and we pretty much just talked for 2.5 hours. Toward the end of the conversation, she was like, dude, let's just do a collab channel together. After we did our collab channel, both of our individual channels had gotten crazy to the point to where we couldn't even really devote proper time to our gaming channels. And one afternoon, I opened up my email and YouTube had sent me a gift card to buy some camera equipment. Now, to some of you guys, that might not mean a whole lot. Even though they sent this gift card to a few hundred other people, I was so honored that I had grabbed the attention of the staff, 1. 2, I had so much admiration for this website. It felt like they believed in me. It's something that cost nothing, yet my entire life, all my friends and family, they couldn't do it. I'm just a boy with a dream, and to wrap this all up, I don't know if I'll ever become a film writer or director. I don't know where this crazy train is going, but I do have a plan, and I do know that this YouTube website and the community that comes along with it is one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Every view, every like, every comment, to you guys, it's just numbers on my page, but to me, those are people that believe in me. And all my life,
That's all I've ever really wanted. I'm on the guard stand. These two girls come out looking so sexy. I get bumped off the guard stand and I start picking up towels and I make my way over to these girls. One is named Nikki and the other one is named Dee. But I'm trying to holler at Nikki. I start talking to these girls for like 15 minutes. Then I'm like, hey, y'all want anything? Like, it's on me. Water, Shirley Temple, some champagne and dinner in front of the fireplace. Like, whatever y'all need, I got you. But we'll take 2 Shirley Temples. I come back with these drinks, there's some random dudes sitting next to them trying to spit game. I'm thinking to myself, I hope you ain't trying to holler at the same girl I'm trying to holler at, bruh. Cause I can make you disappear. I'm fresh out. I know people that know people. And I'll make it look like an accident too. When the cops show up and start asking questions, I'd be like, officer, we was all hanging out. I looked down at my phone, I look up, he stabbed himself. The stab wound was in his back. The dude slipped and fell backwards on a knife. There's 47 stab wounds in his back though. He's a clumsy dude, I don't know. My shift's over, I go to wardrobe, change into my street clothes, and then go back out to the pool deck. Now just doing that alone, I can get written up for. No fraternizing with the guests. Next day comes. These girls are up at the pool deck all day long. So same deal, whenever I get free time, I go over and talk. Me, Danny, Dee, and Nikki. My shift's over, street clothes, back out to the pool deck. See, here's the thing, up until this point, I've never hooked up with a guest. I'm not trying to get fired over smooching with this girl. We're all chilling out next to a cabana. All of a sudden, Dee and Dan start going at it. And Nikki's sitting there like, so yeah, this is actually our last night here. We're leaving tomorrow morning. My parents, they came with us. They got other places they need to go. You came with your parents? Thought y'all came here like by yourself. I gotta kiss this girl, but I can't do it out here on the pool deck. Hard Rock got cameras out the butt. So I'm like, yo, let me walk you to your room one time. So I snatch her up, I walk her around the corner to the stairwell. We walk up about 3 floors, and then she stops and leans up against the wall and just looks at me like, what's up? And I start moving in, and I get closer and closer, and she closes her eyes, and I close my eyes, and I kind of just lean there next to her like an idiot. I'm just leaning next to her for a good like 4 minutes, and then I took her back to her room. Next day, I had to work at 2 p.m. At 11 o'clock, jump in my car, drive to work. I look to my left as soon as I walk out onto the pool deck. First table next to me, Nikki and Nikki's mom and dad. I'm like, yo, y'all got room for one more? I look at Nikki, and she is triggered. Then she goes, I'm going to the bathroom. Dee, come with me. And that's another thing, why do girls always go to the bathroom together? That's always confused me. Are all public restrooms for ladies escape rooms? And it's like a puzzle where you need 2 or 3 people to figure out how to escape? Anyways, the girls go off, so it's me, Dan, and the parents. And the dad looks at me and he goes, so, I understand you've been canoodling with my daughter the last few days. And I start getting scared, looking at all the exits, because he knows I work here. I can't think of a scenario where he finishes this sentence and it ends positively. So then he looks at me and he goes, why didn't you kiss my daughter last night? Wait. What dad says this? And I give it a few more seconds to see if he's gonna be like, haha, just kidding. This dude is dead serious. And I look to the mom for help, and she ain't trying to help me. She has her hands on her hips like, what kind of freaky family is this? Wait, well, sir, it's just the good guy complex. We leave in 30 minutes.
Throw the nice guy out the window, because I'm not about to be on the plane for the next 4 hours with my daughter, all moody and depressed and sad.
So Nikki and Dee come back and they sit down. So I walk Nikki up to the lobby. Probably the worst place I could have taken her because everybody at front desk knows me. The GM walks through here all the time. Like, I shouldn't even be seen in regular clothes hanging out with guests. Danny and Dee find us and they sit next to us, and as soon as they sit down, they're rolling over us. Danny's feet are like in my face. I'm like pushing his feet out of my face as they make out. They're just going at it. Me and Nikki are just sitting here in silence because I'm nervous AF and scared too. I'm cold. Never kissed a girl before. And the dad walks into the lobby.
Where's my daughter and that boy? How much you wanna bet that yellow turd ain't even kissed her yet? Dolores, fetch me my shotgun.
He's just mean mugging me. The dad gets in the line for front desk, waiting to check out. So I look at Nikki and I'm like, Nikki, let's take a walk. We start walking. I glance up and I make eye contact with her dad, and he mouths the words, "You better kiss her. Dad is gonna kill me if I don't make out with his daughter." When you pass front desk off to the right, they have these rooms, and they're phone booths, but they're like rooms with just a single phone in it and one tiny little light. Take her in there, grab her, pin her up against the wall, boom. Oh my god, her lips were so soft, y'all. Oh my god. You know when you go to Krispy Kreme and you catch the glazed donuts right off the production line when they pour that hot glaze right on and you bite into it? That's exactly what it was like. Before I got the job at Disney, I went to MGM Studios to be a part of the live studio audience when they were filming one of the episodes of Mickey Mouse Club. At the end of every show, the cast members would spell Mickey's name, and then music would start playing and everybody starts dancing. So I went there with my boys Paul and Josh, and we're in the audience, and the cameras are rolling, and the episode ends, and the cast members are all singing, lights start flashing, everybody gets up and starts dancing. But for whatever reason, I just wasn't feeling it. So the song finishes, and the production guy comes out on the microphone, and he's like, "Okay, good job, guys, but we need to do it again because we're picking up some people on camera who aren't dancing." Everybody in the audience kind of giggles a little bit and looks at me, Paul, and Josh. And just then I look up on the stage and I see this blonde kid who's one of the cast members. He leans over to another girl cast member and whispers something in her ear. And they both look over at me and just start laughing out loud. And I'm like, "Oh, y'all got jokes? Okay, play the music again, see what happens." Okay, we're gonna start it over again. Remember, guys, big smiles, look happy, and don't forget to dance. Ready? 3, 2. Oh, I get up. And every time I see a camera with a red light on, I do my best to kind of lean into frame with my hands folded, staring back at the cameraman, looking like I hate my life. I get home and they finally air the episode I was on a few weeks later, and you start to see my elbow slide into the frame, and they just cut to another shot. And they finally show the master shot with everybody dancing, and they superimposed Mickey over me, Paul, and Josh in the background. Turns out that blonde kid that was laughing at me, his name was like Justin Timber something, I don't know, like he got a record deal and made a Christmas album. But yeah, I only acted rebellious at Disney when I felt disrespected. To be honest with you guys, the night that I snuck back into the park and rode all the rides and ate all that food, that was my kamikaze mission. Because I knew my face would have popped up on somebody's camera somewhere. Nothing happened. Nobody saw me. But I still knew that I kind of had to quit. Like, any of you guys ever had that job that you loved or just really liked, but there was a supervisor or manager and they just made your job so stressful for no reason? But it was cool. I already made the most out of my experience working for Disney. Or so I thought, because one day I go into Take 5, that's the cast member employee break room lunch area, and I overhear some of the college program kids talking. And for anybody that doesn't know, the college kids from all over the world, UK, Australia, Canada, they all come down, they get assigned to work at one of the Disney parks, Disney provides housing for them, and then Disney automatically takes rent out of their paychecks. And the only one I kept hearing about was Vista Way. For some reason, like I would never get details, but I'd always hear people saying Vista Way. And they always say it like that, like they're getting a massage while they say like Vista Way. I'm at Take 5, these college kids next to me, they start talking and I'm eavesdropping now, and their conversation opened my eyes. Remember how I left House of Blues early and went back to Vista Way? Yeah. Well, I was walking to my room and I kinda ran into Ashley and we ended up making out. Dude, no way, she's so hot. And I made out with Taylor too. No way, dude, I've had a crush on her for like ever. I know, and I still made out with her. But it gets better, because you know Pam? Made out with her too. Dude, 3 girls in one night, like what were you like room hopping and making out with all these girls? No, I made out with all of them. At the same time. So now I'm doing Google search trying to find blueprints to Vista Way. See, I was that 17-year-old that had still not kissed a girl, and this guy over here is making out with more girls than I hug in a single day. And the only way you can get into Vista Way is if you get signed in by a cast member who's staying there. Now, we had people that stayed at Vista Way who worked at Indiana Jones with me, but none of them really associated with me because the black man, we're just gonna call the black manager Ron. Ron would go out of his way to punk me in front of all my other coworkers, so none of them wanted to really associate with me. But one day we get this new girl, Amy, really cute Asian girl, and she had a really awesome personality, and that made her even cooler. And me and her just hit it off instantly. Anyways, what me and Amy started doing, we started park hopping just to find hot spots around Disney parks that had really good food. Fast forward a little bit, Amy has the day off. I'm standing at Greeter in front of Indiana Jones, and this guy comes up to me. Hey, are you a Donde? Yeah.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm friends with Amy, and I'm one of the characters. Oh, hey, what's up? Well, you know, any friend of Amy is instantly a friend of mine. What's up? Could you possibly maybe give me a ride home? Yeah, no problem.
Are you sure it's okay? Cause I hate to ask, but I just don't feel like waiting on that stupid bus.
Yeah, no, it's not even a problem, man. Like, where do you live?
Vista Way.
What?
Vista Way.
Why are we still talking? Get in the car right now. I teleported it. Let's go. I'm driving and he's telling me where to turn, and in my head I'm just like, yes! I am kissing at least one girl. Esta noche. We pull up at the entrance, and the first thing I notice is how fortified this place is. They got 3 security guards, motorized gates, dogs with lasers on their heads, watchtowers with spotlights. It felt like I was pulling up to the entrance of Jurassic Park. These guys seriously were acting like they had velociraptors up in here. Pull up to the gate, guard stopped me. How can I help you? Yeah, I'm just here taking my BFF, Brendan. I'm taking Brendan, my BFF, home. It's right inside there.
I'm in building 301.
Okay, you get out here and walk to your building. I can't drop him? I mean, he's been standing all day, sir. What kind of a friend? I mean, I wouldn't be a good friend if I didn't go inside there, past the gate, and drop him. I am not happy as I leave. I pull away and I'm sizing this whole place up. Y'all already know what's about to go down. Y'all know what I'm thinking. Cause I don't care if I got a Shawshank Redemption my way over or under that fence, I'm getting up in here. Over the next week and a half, I'm just thinking about anything I could possibly do to infiltrate this complex. But one day, I just kicked back into my I don't care mode and I was like, Vista Way, no Vista Way. I don't even care anymore. But I could feel my last day at Disney was about to happen. Like, some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Like, when you have a job and you kind of feel that you're about to be like fired or you're gonna quit. So I kind of took matters into my own hands with this whole last day business. I went and got both my ears pierced. I knew there was no way I can go into work with both my ears pierced. I am quitting today. I go in, some manager is about to get my name and my name tag imprinted on their cheek. Our first show finishes and we're cleaning up the theater, and then suddenly I hear, scrub the ground! What is this music doing playing at Disney? And guys, this is my last day, so I don't even care. I just stop cleaning and just walk off. I go to investigate. So I just follow the music and I turn the corner. All I see is an explosion of cheerleaders everywhere. And for any of you cast members, past or current, watching this video that have ever worked at Disney for a year plus, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the cheerleaders. Every year, there's a national cheerleading competition that's held at Disney World, and thousands of high school cheerleaders from all over America invade Disney for 3 days. I had never seen so many girls in one place in my entire life. I felt like I was in a music video. And these girls did not look like they were doing any cheer routines I had ever seen before. These ladies were dropping it like it's hot. My mind was blown. I instantly run back to Indiana Jones to tell my coworkers, I'm like, guys, there's like 500 girls here. Adonde, man, they've been here since Thursday. We even hung out with some of them last night after work, bro. Wait, y'all are messing with me, right? Nope. Where'd y'all go? And what did y'all do? You know what, man? Don't even worry about it. There are hundreds of high school cheerleaders here. I am getting my first kiss today. Get to wardrobe, I get a beanie. Run back to the greeter spot. Guess who comes strolling around the corner? Yep, a manager. And it was a new manager. Never seen this guy before, and I'm just like, crap. He walks up next to me, and in my peripheral vision, I see him look at me, then look away. And then he looks at me like he's gonna say something, he's like, and looks away. And then he finally speaks, he's like, hi. Hey. How you doing today? Fine. So, why are you wearing that winter cap when it's 90 degrees outside? Reasons. Medical reasons? And I knew this guy was not gonna just drop it. So I just lifted up the right side of my beanie and showed him my earring.
Oh, no! Bless my stars, you have earrings! No!
Rodriguez to any manager by Epic. And I'm like, no! This is my moment right here, thug life. This is Richard.
I got a code,
I've got an employee, situation.
Okay, 56 me at the nose. I turn the corner and there's this female manager I'd never seen before, and Richard. Now when it comes to managers that hated me, Richard was number 2 in command right behind Ron. So as soon as Richard sees that it's me that comes around the corner, he just starts smiling. This big, cartoonish Kool-Aid smile on his face. We get over to him and he's like, what's the problem? The manager doesn't tell him, he just kind of looks at me. And at this point, I'm not even gonna say anything to any of these people. I just raise up my beanie and show him my earring. Oh, Adonde, you know better than this. Okay, you know what? We'll just make this real simple for you. We're gonna send you home. Don't come back until you take your earrings out. And you guys know when you take a piece of paper and you crumple it up and you throw it into the trash and miss, and have to do that walk of shame, pick that piece of paper up and throw it back in? Yeah, amplify that by 1,000,000. And you have an idea of what my final walk off Disney property was like, because there were high school cheerleaders everywhere. I'm walking down Commissionary Lane and I saw something that almost had me rip my earrings out and run back into work. There was like 5 white girls, all doing the Tootsie Roll. I thought I was looking at CGI, because I didn't even know this was possible for white girls to be doing the Tootsie Roll this good. And even to this day, that was the last time I stepped foot into a Disney park. And I went home and just never.
In high school, I never understood going to school to skip class on campus. That made no sense to me. If you didn't want to go to school, stay home. I'd be in driver's ed class outside on the bleachers, look over and see kids skipping every single day, like literally skipping. La 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 la. And at my school, skipping was like a really big problem. So if you ever got caught, it's Saturday school or detention. Not worth it. I go to school and forget that I have a massive test that I didn't study for. So bump it, I'm just gonna skip. And lately I've been getting a lot of subscribers from England, Australia, and Canada. I don't know how schooling works over there. At my school, we had 3 lunches and 1 long class that you just stay in for that whole time until it's your lunch. And I had the last lunch, so all I need to do is skip class for the first 2 lunches, and then we Gucci. So I'm standing in the hall thinking about this, and then the late bell rings, so I'm just like, okay, well, it's now or never. And over by art and photography, there's these bathrooms that are single stalled that I always smell wacky tobacco coming out of. So I walk over there, and there's an open stall. I go in, I hide, and then I wait for the first bell to ring. So kids start going into the lunchroom, and I'm thinking to myself, I could hide in here for an hour. Or I could be a fatty and eat at all 3 lunches. And if you've seen any of my Instagram stories or my Snapchat stories, you already can know which one of these I picked. I had my main squad, Willie and Bandit, in high school, but I'd also squad hops. I was cool with the Jamaicans, the goth kids, the nerds, the popular kids. Okay, I wasn't really friends with the popular kids, but you get the idea. I never been to this first lunch. It had a completely different vibe. But please believe, I was chilling with my Asians over there like, bell rings, everybody starts leaving the lunchroom. I start heading back to my bathrooms, and there's an administrator blocking it. So my new mission objective is to find a new bathroom, and then I'll just come out for a second lunch. Boom, we good. And now the administrators are watching all the kids going into the classrooms. I don't got no class over on this side of the building, so I walk outside and I'm acting like I'm going to another building, and then I hear, hey! Did you hear anything? I didn't hear anything. I'm just gonna walk this way now. Then I hear her say, hey, you stop! And then I ran. If you ever run from administrators, that's 3-day suspension. I sprint for like 30 seconds and I thought I lost her. Look over my shoulder and she was right there like, I'm 16 and a half years old and you're like 70. How you keeping up with me? I ain't going back to jail. I did my nickel. I ain't going back. I'm guessing a lot of kids ran from her because I felt like John Connor being chased by the T-1000. So I'm zigzagging, running around corners. I find a bathroom, boom, kick open the door. There's 10 other dudes in this boy's bathroom looking like refugees, all skipping, waiting for their next lunch. So there's like a 10-minute window between when lunch gets out and the next lunch starts. So I just have to not get caught before that next bell rings. So I'm chilling in the bathroom and then I hear the double doors at the end of the hall open and then I start hearing heels. None of these dudes know what's going down. So I run into a stall. Thank God there was nobody in it. We're in a boy's bathroom. She can't come in here, right? So the heels keep getting louder and louder, and then she gets to the door and cracks it open, and she goes, I know you're in there. Nobody says a word.
If you come out now, it's not gonna be that much of a punishment. But if you make me go and get a male administrator, Everybody in here is getting suspended.
I'm dripping sweat. Sweat is coming out of my booty cheeks right now. My mom is from the Caribbean. I know if she finds out I ran from an administrator and got suspended, she's gonna beat me with a fridge. So once she threatens she's gonna get another administrator, one guy cracks and he comes out.
Is anybody else in there?
Yeah. So then another kid who's always in trouble, we'll just call him Dre. Dre is like, forget it, whatever, I'm in here too.
Who else is in there? You better not cover for anybody.
So he walks back in and like Dre is cool. He ain't gonna snitch. You, and just rats with no hesitation. And then he starts walking out and she's like,
Is there anybody else?
oh, let me check the stalls real quick. What the H, Dre? I hear him open up the other stall. You, out. He opens up my stall and she was like,
Is there anybody else in there?
and he looks me dead in my eye and he goes, nah, that's it, it's all clear, ain't nobody else in here. Me and Dre never even talked. We have gym class together. And I never said 2 words to this dude. Needless to say, that was the last time I ever skipped class. Ever. Alright, it's been a long time coming, but I'm finally gonna tell you guys how I met Adriana Lima. As some of you guys know, before I was into the whole gaming thing, I was a lifeguard at the Hard Rock Hotel. The majority of the celebrities that I've met while I was working at this job. This was a few years ago in September. I'm pretty much the only person out on the pool deck. Hotel occupancy is like at 2%. There's only like 2 kids out on the pool and they're off on the side with their parents. And it was an easy day, super slow. And I look up and this girl walks out onto the pool deck and she has long brown hair, smooth, silky, caramel looking skin. And to top it all off, she's wearing high heels. Now, ladies, let me just tell you this. I don't know if you girls know about this or not, but if you go out to a pool deck and you're wearing high heels in a place where everybody's wearing bathing suits, there's something genetically encoded in a guy's brain. You could be wearing Eskimo gear, and as long as you have those high heels on, we will stare. So what do? I put on my shades. Not, to be a weirdo or anything, but my mission now is to figure out what race this girl is. Like, I see the mocha skin and I'm just like, is she Hawaiian? Is she Asian? Like, that's my new mission, because really, there's nobody at the pool. So I put my shades on. All lifeguards have mastered the art of ninja shade staring. Okay, we put our shades on and we can stare at somebody without them ever knowing. So we have like an outdoor restaurant that connects to our pool, and we have servers walking around. So this lady walks up to one of the servers and she starts talking to her. The longer I look at her, I'm like, man, this woman is beautiful. Like, wow. And there's something very familiar about her, but I can't quite put my finger on it. So then she hands the server her room key and then walks around to my side of the pool. Now, there's about 300 chairs out on this pool deck. And she comes over to my side. And she walks in front of me. Let me give you guys a picture. I'm sitting here. She walks in front of me. She looks up at me and smiles. And I look down at her and I get a good look at her face. And I'm like, oh God, no, you're joking me, right? That is not who I think it is. And then she plops down and sits right here, 2 chairs away. I'm thinking to myself like, no, that's not Adrian. No, it can't be. Okay, let me just look again. I'll look down. I look down and she just happens to look up at me and I saw her eyes. I'm sure you guys have seen pictures of her eyes in Victoria's Secret magazines or whatever. But nothing I can really sit here and try to tell you guys could describe what her eyes look like in person. I was done. Then I thought there is one surefire way to make sure this is Adriana Lima. I know she doesn't speak English that well, and she kinda has a slight masculine voice. So I look down at her and I'm like, hi, how you doing? And she's like, fine, thank you. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, the only reason I would even pick up a Victoria's Secret magazine back in the day was to look at Adriana Lima. Is there a wedding chapel within walking distance that me and this girl can go to? Because we need to make it happen right now. Now on slow days like this, we only leave one lifeguard out on the pool deck. If there's another lifeguard, they usually hang out inside until it's time to bump or rotate. So I pick up my radio and I start whispering because I don't want her to hear me. And I call inside, I'm like, John, do you copy? And John's on the other end, he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, John, I'm sitting next to Adriana Lima right now, dude. You need to come outside. ASAP. And he's like, Adriana Lima? Who's that?
I'm like, are you serious right now? What do you mean, are you serious? You're joking, right?
And he's like, no, who's Adriana Lima?
I'm like, have you heard of Victoria's Secret? Dude, she's the girl that's on the cover of this month's Victoria's Secret magazine. And she's on page 2, 6, 12, 20, 27, and 32. Okay? You have to get out of here now, dude. This girl is amazing.
And he's like, you mean the Brazilian chick?
I'm like, yes. Her. I'm sitting right next to her. Oh my God, she's so fine.
So then he's like, okay, I'm on my way out. So then it dawns upon me, like, I'm sitting next to arguably one of the most beautiful women on the planet. How do you spit game to Adriana Lima? What do you say to a girl like that? So then I make up my mind, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go talk to this girl, alright? Take my shirt off. And now here's the thing. Me without my shirt out on that pool deck is like Clark Kent without his glasses. It's morphin' time up in this piece. Superhero mode is activated. So I walk over and I'm just like, so are you enjoying your stay? And she's like, yeah, the hotel is so pretty. And I turn around and John's there to bump me. I kind of smile at him and he smiles back and I walk away. I go over to the server that she was talking to and I'm like, listen, I need to see that room key that lady just handed you. So she reaches into her pouch and pulls out the room key. Now we're off to the side where she can't see any of this. And I'm looking at the name on the room key and it's some weird looking, it looks German, but it looked crazy. It was just like a bunch of letters with no vowels. And it didn't say Adriana Lima on it. So I'm like, did you not see who handed you this card? She's like, no, I saw who handed me the card. I'm like, do you know who that is? She's like, no, who is it? I'm like, it's Adriana Lima. Come on, you're a girl. You're supposed to know this stuff. She's like, the Victoria's Secret model? I'm like, yes, that's her right over there. She's like, oh, okay, well, her drink's up, so let me go run it over to her. So she takes the drink over to her and then comes back over to me. And I'm just telling the server girl, do you have any idea how madly in love I am with Adriana Lima? And I can't believe she's out here on this pool deck. As I'm talking, I see this old guy walk across the pool deck and then sit down with her. And I'm thinking, okay, this guy looks really old, so I don't know if this is her manager or her agent, but he looks way too old to be her boyfriend. I walk back over and I'm passing by and I kind of look up at them and I'm like, hey guys, you doing okay? You need me to grab anything for you? And before I could even finish, the guy was like, no, we're fine, thank you, leave us alone. Like, he didn't say the leave us alone part, but the way he kind of like cut me off and started barking at me, I was like, whoa, not cool. So I started thinking, what can I do to justify staying in close proximity with this girl? And then it dawns upon me, you know what? I'll start playing with those kids that are in the pool. There's only 2 of them, but I'll play with those kids in close proximity. So I go over and I start playing with the kids, and they're making all kind of crazy requests like, AT, do a headstand, AT, do a handstand, do a cartwheel, do a backflip. And I'm doing all these things like a little circus monkey. And every time I glance up at Adriana, she's smiling. It's really not her fault. I was in superhero mode, and honestly, if you look at this picture, see, look behind me to the right. See, look at this lady staring. She's caught on camera. She don't even know it. When I go superhero mode, it's just too powerful sometimes. I can't help everybody that's in the blast radius just gets caught up in it. And it's even so powerful, it doesn't stop at the ladies. Look at this guy. Busted. Okay, dude, I see you back there checking me out from behind. Okay, this is just evidence. It's like Cyclops when he gets his visor knocked off. He just blasts anybody and it says, like, blah, he can't help it. Superhero mode is just too powerful sometimes. I can't control everybody that gets caught up in it. So, it kind of explains why every time I looked up at Adriana Lima, she was looking back and smiling at me. But for whatever reason, this old guy that she's with is running some serious interference, and I'm not too happy about it. Some of you guys who have seen the older videos know I suffer from a condition known as SFAD, BCAD, stare from a distance but can't approach disorder, and I was not going to let that flare up today, okay? So I'm sitting here for about 30 or 40 minutes, I'm doing all this stuff, and me and Adriana are kind of exchanging glances, and she's smiling, and she's like, ooh, look at the little black monkey, man. The old guy literally, you can tell it was his idea to leave. They kind of start getting up and they start walking off the pool deck. And I'm like, no. We kind of exchange our last glance, like, this is where we part ways. And I kind of got that feeling from her, like, she didn't say it, but I kind of got the impression, like, I'll wait for you, It's kind of hard to really explain to you guys, but Fast forward. I get this text from my sister a few months ago. What is this garbage? Adriana Lima is pregnant. Of course, I responded with, no! This is ridiculous, okay? That should be me married to Adriana Lima right now. But guess what? That old guy that was running interference ruined everything. Oh, my goodness. Why is this? Oh, boy, I love my life. This has to be a mistake. At 1100 hours, all primary Sony systems were secure.
They were, sir. Only civilian sectors were affected. Internet. People lose their game saves. That sort of thing. But then a few minutes ago, we got word that PSN is completely down.
We thought it was a communications error, but now it looks like the virus.
Sir, Alaska is down.
What?
Signals from all of our satellites are scrambled beyond recognition.
Can people at least watch the tester or their Blu-ray movies?
We not sure. We lost contact.
Dear God. So you're telling me Sony Corp is completely open to an attack?
Theoretically speaking, we could be under attack already, but we only have reported problems with the fat, pregnant-looking PlayStations, not the Slims.
Who's doing this? Foreign power? Microsoft? Nintendo? Some nerd hacker in his garage? You know what? I bet it's that Major Nelson fellow. He smiles way too much. He's gotta be in on this.
It's like nothing we've seen before. It keeps growing and changing and evolving, like it has a mind of its own.
This can't be happening.
Sir, the gentleman is on the secure line.
Brewster.
I'm hoping you have some kind of solution for us.
I know what you're looking for, sir, but Sony is not ready for a system-wide connection.
That's not what I'm reading on these forums. Kotaku and IGN.com have pictures of Xbox fanboys dancing in the streets. Now, I understand there's a certain amount of performance anxiety over there, but your boys are saying if we plug Skynet into all our systems, it'll squash this thing like a bug and give me back control of Sony.
Mr. Chairman, I have to make myself very clear. If we uplink now, Skynet will be in control of Sony.
But you'll be in control of Skynet, right?
That is correct, sir.
Then do it. And Brewster, if this works, I'll make sure you get an early copy of Uncharted 3.
Thank you, sir.
Shall I execute, sir?
No. It's my job now.
Skynet defense system now activated.
What is that sound?
What sound? I don't hear anything.
It sounds like gunfire to me.
So, what do we do while we wait? Okay, well, does anybody have a beta key for StarCraft 2? Okay, that's a no. Did anybody bring a Wii to work, maybe? Nobody? Anybody have a Wii?
I brought my Wii, sir, and Smash Brothers Brawl.
Susan, my dear, that was a test. And you just failed. I'm sorry, but you're fired. This is a Wii-free zone. You should know that. Go to your desk, clean your stuff out, right now. Okay, what about an Xbox? Anybody brought their Xbox today?
This isn't another test, is it?
No, this is not a test.
Good, because I have mine. I bring it every day just in case.
Good, let's fire this puppy up. Let's go.
Super Nintendo FTW!
I'm noticing a spike in Disney-related videos here on YouTube. I ain't complaining. All I'm saying is, none of y'all turkeys love Disney more than me. I just can't be up on here every week talking about Tangled and Brave. That's gonna hurt my street cred. I'll be going to the Cypher. I can't be in the middle of a freestyle battle and have these dudes clowning on me. Let me tell y'all the kind of cast member I was. I'd work my 8-hour shift at Disney, clock out, and hang out at the park for the rest of the day until the park closes. By myself!
I go hard in the pain.
And I do miss working at Disney, I'm not gonna lie. However, there's some things I don't miss. For example, I don't miss how everybody and their mom will be hitting me up asking for free tickets. Be getting phone calls at 6 o'clock in the morning like, hey bud, I'm gonna need you to meet me at the gate tomorrow. I need about 15 passes. Who is this? It's me, Charlie. Remember that time I gave you gum in school at one time? Anyways, I was driving by a playground and I saw these kids and I was like, hey, who wants to go to Disney? I know a guy. I don't even know any of these kids. So if you could just meet us tomorrow. Hold on. Emilio, put down that knife. I knew I shouldn't have let you guys watch Fight Club. Adonde, let me call you back. But something else I missed cast member relationship drama. You know how many Disney employees would only date other employees? Like, I'm sure you guys have heard friends make a pact like, okay, if I'm single and you're single and we both turn 30, we're just gonna get married, okay? At Disney, here's how it goes. If I'm single and you're single in, I don't know, 30 seconds, yeah? We should date. I can't even wait that long. I've already changed my Facebook status. It's a fish. It's Facebook a fish. If you're a straight single guy working at the Disney parks, you have like a 98% chance of getting a girlfriend if you get hired. Here's why. A number of really good looking guys around you don't even like girls. That eliminates a lot of competition right there. And after that, there's only really 2 other types of straight guys left at Disney. They're the regular straight guys, and then you have the extra happy straight guys. They usually carry around a fanny pack, just in case they have to time travel back to 1998. They go to the park with their Kylo Ren doll and they push it around in a little stroller. And they're really concerned about trading pins. There's nothing wrong with these guys. It's just they're not really concerned with getting a girlfriend. So I said you have a 98% chance, but in reality, that's like a 3,000% chance you have of getting a girl, because there's virtually no competition, which kind of confused me, because I had no girls, and I was not that guy. There was one thing that happened to me at Disney. I'm sure this has happened to some of you guys. You have coworkers that actually don't put forward that much energy, or maybe they put forward the same or even less, but they're the ones getting rewarded. So if you do anything and you like exceed expectations, you get what they call a fanatic card. Everybody would get fanatic cards except for me. There was one kid in the college program who was literally breaking rules and getting fanatic cards. Be talking to the manager like, man, you remember them cheerleaders that came through last weekend?
Yeah, of course. How could I have not? Of course I do.
I got one of their phone numbers.
That's great. Oh my god, that's amazing.
I went back to one of their hotel rooms.
You're saying yes to a guest request.
I made out with her too.
Oh, what?
Actually, I made out with 2 of them.
You're just showing that you're a team player. That's what I love about you. You work well with others.
You know, when I left their hotel room, I stole their purse.
Gee willikers, you're going above and beyond the Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
They had $100 in it too. I bought some crack with it.
That's it. I'm giving you a fanatic card.
So one day, I just got bored. I wasn't even trying to get a fanatic card, right? Disney put this temporary beach ball kiosk next to Indiana Jones. And the guy that was running it was actually my boy, Renee. So I got this idea. I went over to Renee. I'm like, Renee, let me borrow one of these beach balls, son. He gives me one of the big beach balls. And I walk into the theater and I tell everybody, hey guys, is it cool if I pack everybody's section? Now, everyone at Epic hates packing the theater when you gotta get down front and yell out in front of everybody, hey guys, can you scoot in? Fill in all available space. Everybody hates doing that. I even hated doing that. So I get this beach ball and go down front. Everyone, I need y'all to do me a huge favor. If you guys all scoot in over here, I'll do a backflip off of this rail. Vroom, everybody scoots in. I get up, do a backflip. Yay! This is a 3-man job. I packed everybody's section, over 2,200 people. By myself.
I go hard in the paint.
Then once everybody was packed in, since you guys have been so awesome, guess what? We finna party! And I break out the beach ball and I throw it into the crowd and everybody's going crazy with the beach ball. EDM music festival up in this piece. Steve Aoki shows up and starts throwing cake. The managers got wind of this. I started doing this for every show. You could tell on their face they hated the idea that I was having so much fun. I wish you would come down here and say something. I wish you would, but you can't. And not only that, after each show, Renee has a line around the block of people trying to buy beach balls. Get on my level. This happened every weekend for 3 weeks in a row. You think I got a fanatic card for this? Nah. The managers were so salty. They were making it so obvious they didn't want me to get a fanatic card. Renee got a fanatic card for selling so many beach balls. They started handing fanatic cards out to the guests in line who don't even work here. You know what? Fluff it. 2 tears in a bucket. One weekend, I go in there, I pack the theater, bust out the beach ball, And then one of the AV techs walks over to me and he's like, hey, what's your name tag say? Adeline? You can't be giving them the beach ball.
Oh yeah? Why not?
See, the tech booth, right? It's right up, look right at, see right over there? We got buttons and pyrotechnics and, pyrotechnics. Can't have the balls flying in there and it might push a button, might blow some stuff up. Yeah, I can't take the ball away right now because these guys are waiting for the bass drop. Yeah, no. Yeah, okay, here's an idea. How about I stand on the perimeter outside the tech booth and then as soon as the ball comes close, stop! Stiff arm! Just knock it away. Because, I mean, the ball weighs -0.5 ounces anyway, so even if it landed in there, it wouldn't press any buttons. Listen, Adele. No. And after they shut down all my fun, they went right back to rewarding everybody else.
Oh! Look at Steven! Look at him! He's role-playing with the guests.
He's not role-playing.
He's Captain Hook, the little boy is Peter Pan, and the little boy stabbed him with an imaginary sword, and now look at him, he's role-playing, he's playing dead.
The little kid pretended to stab him 2 hours ago. There's flies buzzing around his mouth. He's over there taking a nap.
Stop hating, hater. Steven, get up. Come back to the office with me, let me give you a fanatic card. Adonai, look at him! He doesn't even want to break character for a fanatic card! Steven, okay, you know what, Steven? You just stay right here, I don't want to mess with your mojo. I'll go to the office, I'll come back with like 15 fanatic cards.
Whatever you put out into the universe comes back to you. In middle school, there was this dude named Jake. Puberty hit Jake when he was 12, so this dude was like 6 foot tall for no reason. But the first time we got into a tiff, it was after school, we're playing basketball, me and my cousin Shane were on the same team. Jake fouls Shane, they start getting into it. Jake grabbed my cousin, I just blacked out. I went full throttle, Charlie's Angels. You got a problem with my cousin, you got a problem with me. I run out of nowhere, I snapped and turned into Batman and I jumped on his back. 2v1, literally in a single motion. He just cranked and then flung me like a rag doll. I was in a splint for like 3 weeks. Sleeping with a splint is not fun. Jake just starts harassing me every day. Eventually Jake just got tired of the standard bullying, I guess, and then he found a new way to entertain himself. If you weren't paying attention, he would run up to you and pull down your pants. Well, it's not bad enough that I'm failing algebra and failing French class. Imagine how traumatic it is psychologically coming to school, looking over your back in between every single class, wondering if you're trying to pull your pants down and you're gonna be exposed, and now I gotta start my OnlyFans account. I say this kind of jokingly, but not jokingly, because it was very stressful when all this was happening. And then one day, everything changed, because we got a new kid, Sterling. I see Jake just looking at Sterling like, fresh meat. First day Sterling gets there, as soon as school ends, Jake goes over to him and pushes him. Sterling pops Jake in the mouth. You know, they say if you ever go to jail, you gotta start a fight on the first day. That. Jake did not hit him back. Something very strange happened. Jake and Sterling became best friends. You know how rappers collab and they do an album together? Yeah, that happened. These dudes went on a bullying tour. They got so tired of bullying people in our class, they started bullying like high schoolers. Granted, I saw Sterling get his butt kicked by this sophomore, and that was one of the most satisfying things I had ever seen in my life up to that point. But these dudes just wanted to fight everybody. I think it was like 8th grade, Jake was having a birthday party, and he came to school and he was telling everybody like, hey guys, come to my birthday party, and nobody wanted to come. When you're harassing people, people don't want to be around you like that. I think he put 2 and 2 together, so he started acting really nice. For like a week straight, he was nice to everybody, and then some people were like, okay. So Jeremy said he was gonna go, Robbie said he was gonna go, my cousin Shane said he was gonna go. I was the last person invited, so I'm like, okay, down. Now granted, I'm a nerd. Nerds are my peoples, okay? No matter what outfit y'all see me dress up in, still nerd. Bullies can just sense nerd. But I figured, let me go to his party, let me get in good with him, maybe he'll leave me alone. Go to this party and it was pretty fun. His dad was barbecuing. Then the video games came out and we put on Madden. Not a good idea. I knew this play, HB toss left with Cincinnati, you couldn't stop it. So no matter how bad of a predicament, I could be 4th and 90. You knew what was coming. I beat Robbie, I beat Jeremy, I beat Shane, and then it's Jake's turn. I don't just start beating him. I run HB toss left every play. And I was talking junk the entire time. I made it a point to beat him worse than anybody else at the sleepover. I was thinking this dude is gonna go back to harassing me anyway, so I might as well just get my revenge right now. For 15 minutes, I gave him a taste of what he'd been doing to me for the last 3 years. So then around midnight, we're all in his room and he says, let's all see who can stay up the longest. Whoever goes to sleep first is gonna get it. We're in his room, we're just talking. We're all there and we're talking, I'm just like, yeah. Next thing I know, I hear giggling I am woken up by the sound of laughter and the smell of beans. I don't know what's going on, but I'm mad because everybody's laughing and I realized they did something to me. They opened up cans of beans and poured it all over me. They poured it on my head, they poured it down my shirt. Shane is there holding a can of beans laughing like, bro, eat two, Brute? You remember the time I jumped on Jake's back to save you? I have not eaten a single bean since that night. I'm traumatized, I just have PTSD. Monday comes, we go back to school, Jake goes right back to bullying everybody. This dude just made middle school a traumatic experience for every guy in our class. And once high school hit, Jake went off to a different school, I went off to a different school, never saw that dude again. So I told you all that backstory to catch you up to now. Shane has a barbecue, we're out there talking, we're catching up. You remember Jake, you remember that time I saved you? I jumped on him like I was a Darkwing Duck, and then you stabbed me in the back by pouring beans all over me at his party? And then Shane goes, oh, did you hear what happened to him? No. On prom night, he went out partying, got super drunk, got in his car, drove home, and hit a construction worker, and then kept driving. The cops went and looked at the cameras and traced them back to his house, showed up and arrested him, and the judge stacked all that. Driving under the influence, speeding in a construction zone, hitting a construction worker, fleeing the scene of a crime. They gave him life in jail. He has not seen the light of day since the day after prom. Obviously, I was not happy hearing this news, but this is real life, no respawns. I'm gonna get on here and share this story because hopefully somebody can learn something from it, but I don't want to hear any more stories like this. We're all human, we're all gonna make mistakes, but they say what you put out in the universe comes back to you. Any of you guys ever been on a disaster date? I'm chilling at home, y'all know how thugs do. My boy calls me up, I'm like, hello? Hey bruh, I got the perfect girl for you. Oh yee? Yee. What she look like? This girl's sexy than a mug. Oh yeah? Yeah. What she look like though? Bro, she got these big juicy lips and a big old juicy booty. Yeah? Yeah. Dang son, I know. And I showed her some of your Illanet pictures. My Illanet pictures? She seen a bunch of your Illanet pictures, dog. She think you mad cute. Yeah? Yeah. I didn't want to know what this girl looks like. Don't send me her Facebook, Instagram, none of that. Like have a real blind date. Cause how often do you get to do something like this? I'm feeling spontaneous. I get a number, we start texting, we finally get to that phone call. I call her up, and on the phone, this girl sounds so sexy. And it was her natural voice. It wasn't even like she was trying to sound cute like,
I'm just laying here on the bed.
It was just natural, organic sexiness. So we talk on the phone for like a week, and then one day she's like, when are you gonna take me out? Well, I mean, when are you free?
Well, you know, next week is Valentine's Day.
You know, we haven't even met yet, and our first day is on.
You're taking me out on Valentine's Day!
Oh, okay.
And you're bringing me a rose!
Okay.
A red one!
Alright. I'll bring you a rose.
It better be red.
See, a lot of expectations come along with Valentine's Day. And I'm trying to avoid all chances of this turning into a disaster day. I already don't know what you look like. My main concern is if this girl turns out to be cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, it's gonna be a long night.
Valentine's Day comes along, drive over to get her, pull up in her driveway. I text her, yo, I'm here. She steps out, she gets in my car, hand her the rose, we drive over, get to the restaurant. After about an hour and a half of waiting, we finally get sat. Waiter comes over to us and he's like, what would you guys like to drink?
Yeah, lemonade with a light ice, please. It's very important.
So the server walks away and I get a good look at her in the light. Like this is the first time I'm seeing her in good lighting. And you know, she doesn't look that bad, but you know, she still could be crazy, especially after this light ice comment. So we get back to talking and then mid-conversation, I'm like, wait, hold on a second. Where do you work?
Oh, your friend William didn't tell you?
No.
Wow. You know when you're up really late at night and those commercials come on with those girls laying in bed?
Yeah?
Well, that's what I do.
You're the girls in the commercials?
No. I'm the girl that's on the phone that you call. Wait, hold up, pimp.
You're a sex operator? Then it all started to make sense as to why this girl sounded so good on the phone. So then I got 20 questions. Do people call the 800 number and the number gets redirected back to you at your house? Like, do you work from home?
No, we have an office that we go to, and oh my god, there is so much drama.
What do you mean, drama?
There is this ratch that I work with named Rachel. She steals all of my regulars. She sits like 3 cubicles away from me, and I hate her. She smells so bad. Close your eyes and think about the fattest girl you know.
Yeah, no, I get the idea.
No, close your eyes!
Like, why is it so important that I close my eyes? You about to stab me while I'm not looking? All right, I have my eyes closed. I'm thinking about it.
No, you're thinking about plus size. Rachel, she's like Jabba the Hutt, fat and ugly and stinky.
Okay, let's use our inside voices.
She can't even walk. She's in a wheelchair. She has a queue for an hour. People will wait an hour to talk to her. You should hear some of the stuff that she says to these guys.
Open my eyes and the server's there.
One time I heard her tell a guy that she would...
I don't remember what she said because I was so embarrassed. The server like slowly backed away from the table. Like he was backing away from a bomb. He didn't even turn around. He just walked backwards really slow. So we order. We're waiting for our food. I changed the topic. And a few minutes later, Ingrid goes,
Wait, waiter, excuse me. Come here.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
You see those people over there? They got here after us, and they just got their food.
I'll go to the kitchen and check up for you guys. You've got to be kidding me right now. Lord, what did I do to deserve this?
They're doing this because we're a black. These people are racist.
This is the part where the date starts getting a little foggy for me because it's been a long time trying to block this night out of my mind. Like I didn't plan on talking about this again until I have to go to therapy. Probably the worst date I've ever been on, not gonna lie. But it's not over because there's the drive home. And I start thinking, I hope to God that this girl does not think I'm gonna try to kiss her at the end of this date. So we pull into her neighborhood and she goes,
I had a really good time tonight. Didn't you?
Yeah, I had a good time.
We should do this again sometime. You wanna go out again, right?
Yeah, we should, we should totally go out again. I got a little secret for y'all. There was never a second date.
Okay, so the beard is still here, but don't get attached. I'm serious. Who remembers going to their friend's house to actually play video games? Or split screen multiplayer? You ever heard anybody in your family say, back in my day, we had to walk 100 miles to school in the snow? That's us to these kids now. Back in my day, video consoles used to have 4 controller ports on it. And we had to use ironing boards and cardboard to split the screens. Another back in my day, you ever heard your parents say,
Stop playing those stupid video games because they're never going to get you anywhere in life.
$3 million richer.
You know how Tiger Woods' dad and Serena Williams' dad forced sports onto their kids? That would be me for video games. Run up at my kid's school like,
Dad, what are you doing?
You're dropping out of school and you're going pro.
Sweet!
Where's your sister?
She's in jazz club.
Let's go! Boom! Corn Brescia! Man, get this out of my face! You're going pro!
Mr. Thorne, you can't just interrupt my class.
That's poor people talk. I'm here to get money. Both of y'all are on punishment until you win your first tournament. Non-stop video games.
I've been waiting for this moment all my life.
I'd be yelling upstairs to my kids, I don't hear League of Legends or Dota 2 happening up there. It'll be 4 in the morning, I bust in their room. Wake up! Why y'all sleeping? Go practice! Counter-Strike, go! Go! And not just my kids, my wife too.
So we're gonna have to change up the marketing strategy for Q4?
What are you doing? You need to be streaming!
I'm in the middle of the meetings.
That's poor people talk! Get this money! You're a streamer now! Minecraft 24-hour charity stream, let's go! Slide into Drake's DMs right now! Where them donos at? Where them bits at? Alright, let's talk about online gaming for a hot second. There's still mute buttons on microphones, right? So can somebody explain to me why people think we want to hear them chewing all up in the microphone? I know this is gonna be a crazy thought for some people, but mute your mic while you chew. Then on the flip side of that, we have those friends who mute their mic and forget it muted. Also, why come anytime you go to an online lobby for any team-based game, nobody's talking? This is me anytime I'm playing in a team-based game where you need to communicate. Hello? Oh, y'all just playing through your TV speakers, huh? Cool. Before I get too far off topic, I'm talking about randoms who just do their own thing, but sometimes you have that friend who also likes to run off and do their own thing. You know who you are. And then for some reason, this person that runs off and does their own thing wants to get mad when they get jumped by another squad.
I got a guy on me. Got two on me. Two. Yo, help. Guys, come on. Yo, he's one shot. Guys, this guy. Wow.
I don't know if this has happened to y'all yet, but has anybody experienced the fake scenarios? I usually can spot bad acting, so it's very easy for me to see this coming. If you've ever been in a game and you've overheard something completely ridiculous, it's probably one of these fake scenarios. I was in a squad one time and this girl's on the mic.
Hey boys, where are you from?
We all tell her and then she instantly jumps right into flirting with us.
You boys sound hot. Are you guys all single?
Said no girl within 30 seconds of being in a game ever. And a few seconds later you hear,
Yo, what the F? Who are you talking to? Hey, give me the mic. Who is this? Who's on here trying to spit game to my girlfriend?
I've been through this a few times, so I know this is all staged. I go full Mr. Steal Your Gamer Girl. My guy, I gave your girl my number and everything, like we're going to Taco Bell tomorrow. Man, no you're not. After Taco Bell, I'm taking her shopping because she said she needs some makeup and some new clothes from Macy's. But she whispered her address to me before you even got on the mic. Man, shut up! She said she cheated on you and you don't even know about it, so it's all good. Yo, it's crazy that we're both in LA too. Like, what are the odds? Bro, how do you know that? I told you, she whispered it to me. Bet money the next day, that dude was posted up outside of his girlfriend's house, all paranoid, calling her up like, hey babe, you good? You're not at Taco Bell? You're not going to Taco Bell, right?
Back in my day, we didn't have KFC or Taco Bell.
You up first like, hey, what's up? And then you text back like, nothing, chilling at Chipotle, what you up to? And they never text you back. The next person that starts text conversation with me and just leaves me hanging mid-conversation is gonna get a Liu Kang bicycle kick 2D face. If you get busy, just say, in class, BRB, at work, BRB. Because if you leave me hanging, don't be looking all confused when I show up in my Mortal Kombat cosplay, because we about to fight for real, because I'm a thug. Real quick, the letter K is only acceptable when somebody's stating a fact or looking for confirmation. For example, hey, I'm in your driveway, let's go. Hey, I'm on my way. Hey, I'm lonely. Pick up some junk food, come to my house so we can watch some Disney movies while I cuddle your face off. If you text me the letter K for any other reason, don't be looking all confused when I show up wearing my Goku outfit, about to bust a Kamehameha up in your grill, cause I'm a dog. I ain't going back to jail. Actually, you wanna know what my biggest text peeve is? Is when someone just flat out ignores me. And why is the person that ignores you always your crush or the person you really wanna talk to? There was one girl I was talking to, I texted her one night and I was like, hey girl, jump on Skype real quick. And I never initiate texts like that, okay? This girl totally ignored me. And she called me a few days later like, oh my gosh, I miss you so much. I'm like, the heck? You didn't see that I texted you 2 days ago?
Yeah, I saw it, but I just didn't feel like Skyping.
3 finger strokes. N-O, send. I ain't nobody's plan B. Either you choose me or you lose me. Matter of fact, how do you spell your last name again? Was that C-H-E? And then there's those times when you're sitting at home relaxing, checking your Facebook, and you see a friend update their status like, oh my gosh, Powerpuff Girl Marathon on Cartoon Network, hashtag 90s kid. And instead of commenting on their wall, you text them because you've got special friend privileges unlike their other 90 billion Facebook friends. And like 2 hours go by, and you ain't heard jack. And you start thinking, you know what, I don't even like stupid Powerpuff Girls. Why'd I text them in the first place? I seen you update your Instagram like 2 minutes ago. Oh, you're just gonna totally ignore me like I don't even exist. Now I'm in a bad mood when I go to watch Glee. My night is ruined. Someday, someone's gonna ignore my text, and I'm gonna jump in my car and drive over to where they live and then park my car outside their house. And when they eventually come outside, I'm gonna run up to them right as they're getting in their car and I'm like, hey, if you ever ignore another one of my texts, I will falcon punch you right in the Adam's apple. And they'll go, dude, what's your problem? Relax, man. Why are you acting like a psycho? And I'll be like, oh, you calling me psycho now? You wanna see psycho? I'll show you psycho. And falcon punch their car in half. So if you're ever at home and you walk by a window and glance out and you see me sitting in my car like I'm staking your house out, you better go check your phone and make sure I didn't text you, because we about to fight.
So they say never meet your heroes. You ever wonder why they say that? Because what happens if you meet them and they're an a-hole? All right, let's kick things off with Ashley Johnson. So I actually met her at the Alex Wasabi versus iDubbbz boxing match. I'm in the crowd, I'm about 10 rows back, and I'm with my friend and her boyfriend. And we're mid-conversation, and he interrupts us. He's like, that's Ashley Johnson right there. Where? Right over there.
Who's Ashley Johnson?
She's in this TV show I watch, and she's the voice of Ellie on Last of Us. How can you tell, dude? It's the back of her head. I know the back of that head. Anywhere. Are you gonna go say something to her? No, she is the queen. all right, if you're not gonna go say nothing to her, I am. So then I walk over and I'm like, are you Ashley? Yes. You down for a quick selfie? I'd love to. All right, I'm gonna give Ashley a 100 out of 10. She was lovely. If you see her, ask for that picture. Let's do Jeezy. See, when you meet rappers, they're a little bit of a different kind of celebrity. They usually have their guard up. You know, most rappers talk about drugs and guns and money, and they don't know who you with, so they can be a little awkward sometimes. Me and my boy Mel go to this YouTube party. Jeezy walks in. Mel freaks out. Me and Mel go over. I start talking to him. I'm like, hey, Jeezy, is it cool if my boy gets a picture real quick? Jeezy's like, eh. And as Mel walks up next to him, this is what Jeezy does right here. He just takes out his phone and I don't know if this dude was listening to a voice memo, fake taking a call, I don't know what he was doing. So just based off of that interaction, not Jeezy as a person, but just based off of that interaction, I'm gonna have to give Jeezy a 2 out of 10. About 10 minutes later, Ludacris and Lorenz Tate walk in. Now, I'm a huge Ludacris fan. I don't want to mess up the image I have in my head of Ludacris, so I kinda want a picture, but just let me go over and say, what up? So I walk past Luda and I'm like, he's like, what up, man? Keep it pushing. And I walk over to Lorenz Tate. Hey, bro, I'm a huge Power fan. Up until that last season, but can I get a picture? He was like, yeah, you can get a quick picture. So I take out my phone to do a selfie and he's like, nah. We're grown men. Grown men don't do selfies. Hand that camera off to somebody else. Lorenz Tate, I'll give him a 10 out of 10. Very cool dude. Next, let's do the cast of Stranger Things. I'm at the premiere. We binge watched the first 2 episodes in the movie theater. Then there's the after party.
All right, guys, we just finished the screening, and now we're off to the after party.
London is my +1. You ever been out dancing someplace and you're the only person on the dance floor? It's one of those situations, right? Everybody's too cool to dance, but apparently me and London, we're not that cool, so we're out there in the middle of the dance floor by ourselves, like. Then I see her eyes get real big. I turn around and guess who's standing right directly behind me? Millie Bobby Brown. I turn around, start talking to Millie, and then the whole cast pops up out of nowhere, like from a portal, from the upside down. And I'm looking at London like, yo, are we in another dimension right now? Like, this is a movie that we're in. So a circle forms on the dance floor, and then London instantly jumps into it, and then she is just tearing it up. And then Noah Schnapp comes over to me and he was like, bro, did this girl come with you? And I'm here like, London is no longer here with me. I'm now her +1. And I'm like, yep, that's my friend London doing London things as usual. Bro, she can dance. Caleb McLaughlin is there, we're talking. We actually met a few months before this at another party. All right, so let's get some ratings here. I'm just gonna rate the top 3 people based on my interaction, okay? So number 3, we're gonna go to Gaden. He seemed to really appreciate his fans. Let's give him a 10 out of 10. Number 2, we'll give it to Noah. We'll give him a 15 out of 10. Very cool dude. And the homie Caleb, we're gonna give him a 20 out of 10. Back to the Future cast, should we do them? I'm subscribed to the Back to the Future newsletter. I checked my email one day on the newsletter. They're like, Christopher Lloyd, Leah Thompson, and Michael J. Fox for the first time this decade. And they're all gonna be here at Silicon Valley Comic-Con. Boy, I bought that ticket the next day. Michael J. Fox was charging like $250 for his autograph. Got up to him, got his autograph, but it was it was a conveyor belt, so you didn't really get to talk to him. Then I went over to Christopher Lloyd, who played Doc. He was charging like $80. I got to speak to him. Really cool dude, but it was a little weird because he was a little too cool, you know? Listen, Back to the Future has been one of my favorite movies since I was 8 years old. And every time I watch it, I never realized, but Doc, he is like over the top. There's a bomb! The Libyans are trying to kill me! Marty! 1.21 gigawatts! Like, he's always yelling, and I never realized that. So to meet him finally, why are you acting weird, bro? Yell at me or something. I'm kidding. Christopher Lloyd was a really cool dude. We'll give Doc a 10 out of 10. Okay, next up, let's do Myles Garrett. Met Myles, I think it was on Instagram during COVID. So I hit up Myles, I was like, hey, when's a good time for me to come through and see a game? This date and this date. Pull up. So I fly to Cleveland to watch him play.
Racing away and he's sacked again! Myles Garrett!
We chop it up. The next day, he's like, hey, I got courtside seats for the Cavs. You wanna go watch? So I'm like, psh, yee. We get to this Cavs game, y'all. Imagine being courtside at a basketball game. The entire stadium starts chanting, Myles Garrett. We walked to like this VIP concession stand and walked back, and this lady saw us and she like held up her baby against the glass like, take my baby. Other dudes were like, take my girlfriend, take me. Imagine you play for the Cavs, right? And you're at the foul line about to take your free throws, and all of a sudden you hear, Myles Garrett. They're cheering for a dude who is not playing and is sitting in the crowd. I'm just waiting for them to throw us on the Jumbotron and be like, look, we have Myles Garrett here. Look at this little kid next to him. Oh my God, he brought a Make-A-Wish kid to the game. Myles is so awesome. Okay, let's maybe talk about the game. There's 3 seconds left and the game is tied in triple overtime. Man, forget the game. It's all about Myles and this little homeless kid that he clearly flew in from Indonesia. Come on, guys, let's get the chant going again. And me and Myles have a very epic Lord of the Rings level, Hunger Games type, rock, paper, scissors tournament going on right now. It's ongoing.
Myles, who is the rock, paper, scissors champion? Who is the champion? Me.
I'm gonna give Myles, Myles, what are we gonna give you? We're gonna give Myles a 850. One of the coolest, most hardworking dudes I've ever met. I think that's a good spot to end it. Yeah, let's end it here. Should we do YouTubers on the next one? Should we do YouTubers? Let me know.
If you're like me, you love going out to eat. Like you're hungry and then that server comes around the corner. I just get so happy when I see that. My friend Mike was a server. He got bored one day and bought a car. So I'm like, yo, bro, how much money you be making over there? Sometimes I go home with $120 a night. Excuse me? Not even like 3 days later, I drive by this really popular restaurant in Orlando and I see a little sign outside saying, now hiring servers. So I go inside, talk to one of the managers, and these guys hired me on the spot. They were telling me we never hire people without experience, but we're so desperate. So I got the job. I come in the next day and they set me to shadow this other server, big old black guy. And this dude wastes no time. If you're gonna be a server, you gotta know how to multitask, you gotta know how to juggle, you gotta know how to drift in your car, you gotta learn how to play the piano, and you gotta even learn how to defuse a bomb. And I'm just like, good God. By the way, everybody here is sleeping with everybody. We got bussers sleeping with supervisors sleeping with servers. At one point I went back into the kitchen. Please don't get it twisted. I ain't no punk. I go hard in the paint. I walk into this kitchen. I felt like I walked into the comment section of World Star. What the yo, that noise. Said he want the Zingadilla with no pico. Not said he want extra pico. What the? I went home after that first day. I called up Mike. I'm like, yo, apparently they be having orgies up in this place. Nah, man, every restaurant is like that. I worked at a place one time where the females would sexually harass all the males in the kitchen. I'm like, what the ham hucking P-Funk? Shut the front door. Go back in there the second day. I'm shadowing this other dude. You could tell he was not thrilled to be training me at all. Hey, my name is whatever. This is whoever. Yeah, I'm training him. God. So the next day I come into work, the supervisor comes up. Did you memorize the menu yet? There's a test. Okay, I didn't apply here to get tested. I came here to get that paper. You gotta have the menu memorized front to back. Anyways, we're desperate. We're gonna skip the last day of training and just have you start serving. They didn't train me on how to enter stuff in on the computer yet, so I didn't want to say anything. I felt that would have been a bad time, even though it was the perfect time. It was a disaster. I was forgetting drinks. I was messing up orders. You know when you're watching the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park figure out how to open doors? That's me trying to figure out how this computer works. I'm like, So I drop everybody their food. One of the tables goes, I said mayo on the side. This has mayo kind of on the bun a little bit right there in the corner. We're gonna pull all your hair out of your scalp. So the next day I come into work, I quit. And I feel really bad about that because they were already hurting for help. But I don't know how y'all servers do it. Y'all make it look so easy. So please, guys, there is no excuse for not tipping your servers right. There's apps. Needless to say, when I went to apply at my next job, I didn't put this restaurant down as a reference.